The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast intended for mature audiences. It contains mature themes, strong language, violence, and drug references. Full content warnings can be found in the episode's description.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief by RollCast. I'm Tom, the DM, and with me as usual, JB is Ragnarok, our newly one-armed half-orc bard.
Yes.
Along with him, we have Coogan, who of course portrays the last one standing, Gregor the Last, our Dragonborn cleric.
Mm-hmm.
And we also seem to have the ghost of Iathlock, played by Gaz. We'll get onto that very shortly, though. I mean, that's the big, dead, split in two elephant in the room. But we'll get onto that shortly. Before that, though, as is becoming our custom, I have a question for you guys. However, Iathlock, your question is going to be slightly different from Gregor and Rags. But to begin with, Gregor.
Yes.
What do you believe happens after death?
Ooh, flipping heck, yeah, that is a hard question, especially with Gregor. I mean, you used to believe in Talos, but you not really heard much of him talk about that. But he believes at the end of your life, he believes that you get taken to your own personal paradise. Like your inner desires is pretty much fulfilled. And yeah, I think that's what he believes in.
You know what, that's a nice enough belief, to be honest. There's much worse beliefs out there.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Rag, same question. What do you believe happens after death?
Lots and lots of sex. And music. And just wild parties.
Wild hedonistic.
Just endless through the night. It's just a long night of parties and sex.
You know what? I expect nothing less from a bard. I expect absolutely nothing less.
That's what they live for.
Okay, so, the Ghost of Iathlock, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Christ. Jesus Christ. Just shoot me. So, obviously, there's no point in asking you what you think happens after you die, because, dead. However, what were your last thoughts on this mortal coil?
Damn that Ragnarok! I tried and save him, and I knew it'd be my demise.
I mean, that does sound very accurate, actually. It was kind of Rag's fault that he died. For being completely honest here. And with that, roll credits. Alright, so last time, guys, obviously a lot happened with us. There's a very obvious thing that happened, but we'll get onto that very shortly. But to begin with, you all managed to actually enter into the Temple of Myrkul, and you came out into a large entry room, essentially, one that was lined with dozens of torches emitting a sickly green light. There was also kind of like a bowl in the centre, one that Gregor took immediate interest in, as Rag was being taught, initially somewhat unsuccessfully, about runes by Amrius, but started to get a bit of a grasp on it. Guess you could say he was getting a hand on it. No, nothing. Right. Great.
I thought we just left the ship.
Gregor's gone.
Is this when the minute gets one?
It wasn't, but it's gonna be. So yeah, Gregor was kind of intrigued with this bowl of red liquid. Rag was being taught about runes by Amrius and the teleportation rune. Seemed to get a bit of a grasp to it. and then Ivok was checking the bookcases for any important information. Unfortunately, Gregor kind of plunged his hand in just kind of to get a bit of a feel for this liquid, and it didn't work out too well for him. Quite terrified, kind of backed away. After a while, after a bit of more of investigating, finding a couple of books which revealed a little bit of the mystery behind Myrkul, the group figured out that they had to abide by certain tenets of the temple in order to enter successfully. And one of these were to basically, almost as a contract in blood, to agree to follow these rules. The group did so by cutting their hands and bleeding into the bowl. They then came out into a large main hall with 2 sets of stairways that led upwards and 2 wings, the east and the west. However, before progressing any further, the group decided to check out an altar up a slight rise of stairs, and it was here that Ivok felt something vibrate in his pocket. Pulling it out, he realised it was the long-held golden key that he had purchased off the Tabaxi Lincia quite some time ago. Holding it up after a while to the wall, the group discovered that there was actually a secret passageway. Following the passageway, they came out into a small, dimly lit room, looking to be the living quarters of some kind. After lighting up the room with his dancing lights, Rag realised there was a set of 4 chests at the back end of the room. It was here that he tried to open 2 of the chests, one in each hand, and he discovered that one of them was actually a mimic. After a display of bad luck, Rag managed to get away from the mimic, but incensed, angered, he tried to attack it again using his tentacle rod. However, the mimic, showing uncanny dexterity, managed to actually pull him into the maw of itself, crushing down on his hand and his arm, to the point where Rag fell away, and his arm did not. The arm, along with the tentacle rod, remained inside the mimic. As this was going on, as Ivok saw one of his companions fall to the floor unconscious and start bleeding out, he swung down in anger. Unfortunately, just like with Rag, he had a bit of bad luck. However, his was much more catastrophic, with the mimic managing to catch him by the torso, essentially, clamped down, bit him in 2. And at that point, the tale of Ivok Mylar ended. Legs stumbled for a second before falling backwards in front of an absolutely horrified Gregor, who was still trying to bring Rag, who at this point in time was slowly dying too, back to life. And it's at this point that we rejoin you all as Gregor. Yeah, Rag is bleeding out in front of you. Rag, you are struggling to catch your breath, and Ivok, your legs have just kind of fallen to the floor and you are dead, I'm afraid. That is a very accurate well, I'd say that's an accurate representation, Gaz, of Ivok, but seeing as his top half is currently being digested by the mimic. So, to begin this...
I can't do handstands.
To begin this, Rag, roll me your second death saving throw, please. You're currently
We're
failed.
in with that straight away, are we?
Hitting you with that straight away.
Eight.
So Rag, you're still bleeding out quite rapidly from your arm, and again, your breath is starting to catch more, so you fail your second death saving throw.
Rag, you best not die. I died for you. Get up.
Yeah, you can kind of hear Ivok's voice in your head as you're kind of drifting in and out of consciousness.
I'm not going to be able to respond to that though.
No, you're pretty much gone. Third. Roll, please.
Fucking hell.
I was gonna say, Gregor, if you want to try anything, you can at this point.
Yeah, can I rip some of his cloth from off Rag and try and place it onto the severed arm so I can stop the bleeding?
Don't you roll it?
Yeah,
Sorry, don't you roll it every turn?
that's only in combat. We're out of combat at the moment.
Oh, you're not in combat? Oh.
Nope. That kind of stopped after, Ivok was bitten in 2 and Rag passed out. at this moment in time, the rest of the group are kind of stood in shocked silence at this unfolding in front of them.
Their only bodyguards are dead.
Pretty much. Like, a third of their entire bodyguard allocation, I guess, have just been wiped out by a mimic.
Oh, they're pretty
So,
strong.
Rag, sorry, Gregor, you were ripping his, what were you doing again? You were ripping,
Well, just like ripping a bit of cloth off Rag's cloth or something like that, so I can put it onto the wound and hopefully like just try and stop the bleeding.
Okay, I would like you to roll me a medicine check, please.
Yeah. Well, that's not good. 9.
So yeah, you do manage to rip the fabric off. Manage to kind of like fasten it around his arm, almost like a tourniquet. But unfortunately, it doesn't stem the bleeding. The blood, the amount of blood that's kind of gushing out at this point in time, just causes the makeshift tourniquet to slip off. So Rag, can you roll me your third death save, potentially your final?
I was going to say, as he's doing this, can I shout to everyone else, give me a hand here! I need help!
Get up, you sweaty green blob!
You're gonna have to give me a second there after asking them to give him a hand.
Anyone got an extra hand? Anyone?
Okay, yeah, so Amrius is starting to approach. However, Rag, you do need to roll your third death save as he's approaching you.
Nah.
Yeah, you do.
Nah. I'm going to just stay unconscious for the rest of the game.
Okay, alright. Is he there yet?
Is he
He's
there?
going to be there after you've rolled your death saving throw.
6.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, maybe I will be playing Paul Walker over the soundtrack for both this episode and last episode. Christ, not Paul Walker. The Paul Walker song.
Rolling under 10s.
Okay, so yeah, Gregor, as you ask someone to give them a hand, Amrius is kind of like running across, realizing that Rag is not long for this world. Rag, in your final moments, you hear Ivok say something.
Oh, that's not very good.
Yeah, you just hear the ghost of Ivok say, "Oh, that's not very good." You kind of reach your hand up, kind of like almost to punch him out of annoyance, and your hand just falls limp on the floor. Gregor, you have just witnessed Ivok be bitten too, and Ragnarok have his arm bitten off and then die of blood loss. As Amrius reaches, he just kind of notices Rag's arm go limp. Oh no. Oh no.
I just slump back just on my knees as I'm just staring at his dead body like, shit.
You feel
I have a restore life option here that popped up.
what on D&D
On
Beyond?
D&D Beyond, yeah.
Oh, well, unfortunately, I don't think that'll work, will it?
It says restore life with 1 HP.
Unfortunately not. You kind of died.
Oh,
Who
dear.
would have thought that our biggest foe would be a mimic? Regardless, Gregor, you feel Amrius's hand just kind of like gently placed on your shoulder. I'm sorry, dear boy. These risks happen, fortunately, in expeditions such as these, but despite your friends knowing the potential costs, it doesn't make loss any easier.
I just take a deep breath. Just never gets easier when you see comrades die.
No, I suspect that this isn't the first time for you, nor will it be the last. Instead, you have to keep moving for them.
It just takes deep breaths. Right. Can I look at Ivok and, well, what's left of Ivok on the floor?
Yeah, you can look at Ivok's legs.
All right. I was going to say, is the mimic active, or is it just kind of closed back up?
So it's still kind of like chomping away at the upper corpse of Ivok, but it's not actively attacking anyone. It's not moving forward. It's kind of busy with its meal.
All right. I just take one deep breath and just gonna reach over to Rag and just grab the bag of holding.
Yep, you've got the bag of holding now, and all of its contents.
Yeah,
gingerly pick up.
Can I? Yeah, I was gonna say, can I grab and see like if he's got any like personal belongings on him or anything like that?
JB, other than what was in the bag of holding, do you have anything else on you?
Nah.
Are you just saying that to spite Coogan here, or is that genuinely? Unfortunately, even as DM, I can't tell you what he's got on him, only he can. So if he wants to be spiteful over this, he can.
JB, come on. Give me everything.
Roll for investigation, Coogan.
You know what? Actually, fine. That's fair. Roll for investigation. Yep. That's a good point.
It's looting his corpse in the first place. It's like,
Yeah, I'm not helping him out to do it.
it's never easy when you lose a comrade.
I'm just a little bit in shock that we've lost 2 characters so quickly. So yeah, roll investigation. As you're
That's a zero. That's a zero.
You're too shocked by the events that have just happened to properly loot the corpse of your friend.
Okay.
So you've just got the bag of holding.
Right, fair enough.
When it comes to Ivor, yeah, it's just his bottom half, really. You can, if you want, go closer to the mimic to see if you can spot any other bits. Not bits, I guess. Any other items that Ivor had that had fallen off of him when he got 8.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I want to see if I can get like personal belongings, and basically what I was thinking of was once I escape, hopefully I can burn them like as like a little bit of like a burial.
Okay. So roll me. How close are you wanting to get to the mimic? Bear in mind, like I said, the mimic is still just eating.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you get a bit too close, it might think, you know, like similar to how when a dog is eating, if you get too close to it, it kind of growls at you and snaps at you.
Yeah, if it starts like changing or like starts changing its chomping thing, like
okay, roll me
like it
stealth.
noticed me.
Roll me stealth then to get close to it.
Great.
Are we going to see our third death? Who knows?
That's a 10.
It's still too busy chowing down essentially to really go for you, but as you get closer, it stops chomping for a sec and just lifts its mouth, so essentially where the hinges of the chest are, and you see these blood covered sharp teeth just kind of bare slightly at you.
Right.
So,
Can I just slowly reach and just grab the bottom of Ivik's legs and like try and drag it away?
roll me strength for that, just a straight up strength check, because yeah, the legs themselves stumbled slightly backwards when he died, so just far enough away. It's kind of
that's
between the.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's kind of between the bed and the wardrobe at this point.
Right, yeah. Can I? It was a 20, not natural.
Yeah, so you're kind of like just pulling the bottom half of Ivok away. If you want, you can now roll an investigation to see what he might have been holding in his breeches, I guess.
Yes, I will do. Natural one.
You guys are natural.
I'm gonna die of a heart attack, aren't I?
I mean... So as you're pulling it away, one of... Guys, I'm so sorry to do this to the corpse of your character, but one of the legs gets caught on the kind of like one of the pillars, I guess, of the bed. I forgot what the actual name is for it. The things that connect. Yeah, fucking. The leg kind of wraps around the bedpost, and you can hear like a as the bedpost snaps. The bed comes down, and you hear another cracking noise as the bed lands on one of the legs, cracking the legs, but then also pinning it to the floor. You can't move it any further back.
I just look at the floor and just whack it in the floor, just in frustration because I can't get my comrades like where I want them.
It hurts. You feel a knuckle pop, but you don't take any points of damage for that.
I just turn to Amris. Amris, can you just help me just get my comrades, please?
I will ask Ebchar and Raynor to move their bodies into the main hall. Yes, and you see Ebchar just kind of walk over. He picks up the corpse of Rag and just kind of slumps it over his shoulder. Not gonna lie, kind of expected one of you to maybe kick the bucket in this, but both of you at the same time. Two of you at the same time. Just kind of looks back at Gregor. You have my condolences. Just kind of walks into the main hall.
I just nod my head, just like.
Raynor manages to kind of like lift the bed and grab the legs of Ivok, chuck him over. Well, I guess he's half the man he used to be. Just walks out.
Ivok is rolling about in his grave at the moment.
I mean, put him on, yeah.
He catches up to Ebchar. Hey, I've got to give a hand to you, Ebchar. You really are strong. They just kind of lay the bodies out. They lay the bodies out on the altar, essentially.
I just stand up, put the bag in holding, just over. I just turn to Amrish. Is like, well, we got a job to do.
Yes, we do indeed. Yes, we do indeed. Yes, it's just kind of. He seems a little bit shocked himself as well. I don't think anyone in the group kind of expected a mimic of all things to cause such devastation. I would suggest. Excuse me. I would suggest that we search the rest of the room in case there is any clues for what to do next. However, having looked around, this looks to be the living quarters of whichever priest would live here at some point or another. So maybe there isn't anything pertinent to our investigation. Maybe it would be more along the lines of how the priests live, and whilst that would normally be interesting reading for an archaeologist such as myself to find, given present circumstances, maybe we should figure out a way to get to the upper floors.
Yes, I completely agree. I just want to get out of this room right now.
Yes. He kind of looks up, and do you look up as well, like looking around the rest of the room?
Yeah, I'll have a quick glance, just.
So you can see around the rest of the room that the rest of the group have already left. Like pretty much everyone has left, pretty much in silence. Kind of like a show of respect, I guess. And yeah, the silence just falls upon the room. You are currently kind of like knelt just before the bed itself, kind of between the bed and the wardrobe, and as you stand up and turn around, you can see some of the lights near the stove and the fireplace has kind of like died down completely.
Oh, how far is the bed from me, actually?
You're pretty much next to the bed.
Right, can I just grab a sheet and just pull it off?
Yeah, you've now got a sheet. It's old, and it is very holy and tattered. It seems a bit ancient and mouldy. But you have a green mouldy sheet.
I was going to say, as I walk out of the room, do I see Ivok and Rag's body on the tomb?
Yes, on the altar itself, they have been kind of laid quite respectfully on the western side, kind of like in between the two braziers, essentially.
Alright, I'm just going to throw this sheet over them, just to cover their bodies.
Yeah, so they are now covered completely, pretty much, at this point. The rest of the group have kind of walked down into the main centre part. Like before, Raynor has kind of sat down on one of the pews. He's less relaxed than he was before. He's kind of like hunched over, muttering to himself. Fu is walking up and down, just kind of like looking in the alcoves and whatnot. And the rest of the group seem to be kind of like just waiting in the centre, where you can go to the east or west. And as you approach, Amrius kind of turns to talk to you. And you can see he looks a bit concerned. It does not feel right for me to suggest that we split up the remnants of our group. However, I believe it might be wise at this point. We need to cover as much as we can in this forsaken temple. Find out how we are meant to ascend, as it were.
I agree
that we should. Yes,
I'm agreeing at this point. I'm just yes. Well, I'll do whatever you say. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job.
Yes.
I'm at your disposal.
I believe that it might be a wise idea for myself, you, and Raynor to take the eastern side.
I was going to say, where's Bimit also at this time?
Bimit is behind you. He is very, very quiet. You can roll an insight if you want to kind of get a...
Yeah.
Roll me insight then, please. Bimit is very quiet. He's kind of leant low down to the ground.
That's a 12.
Bimit is fuming. Bimit is... You don't even need to look too deep inside to see that Bimit is just rage incarnate at this point.
I'll just turn to Bimit. You alright, Bimit?
Bimit lost 2 members of kin. And Bimit cannot even eat. Stupid mimic that killed kin.
Never gets easy, unfortunately, Bimit. Just give him a pat on the shoulder.
Once more, Bimit has lost family.
Unfortunately, it never gets easy. I've lost family too, Bimit. Never gets easy. But all that we can do is push on. At the end of the day, just takes a little bit of a breath. We are here to do a job.
If Bimit find Cult or Myrkul, Bimit destroy Cult and Myrkul. Kin would not be here if not for stupid death god.
I completely agree with you. We'll take them down together.
Just kind of nods his head and exhales like a large amount of smoke from his nostrils. Seeing this, Amrius just kind of nods slightly, and you can see him talking to Redmond, Ebchar, Fu, and Dravlan just quietly, and kind of like gesturing over to the western side.
Mm-hmm. I just turn to Bimit just one last time, like, so I'll be buying you steaks from now on.
Bimit's heart races, realizing that Rag will never buy him a steak again. And well, even though Rag tried to break him, he's still very upset over Rag's passing. And yeah, you can see he's also very upset over Ivic's passing. Ivic may have called him the wrong name every single time, but Bimit was wanting to try and get some kind of training from Ivic at some point or another. He was a bit sad over missing the opportunity to bond. But nonetheless, Amrius just kind of places his hand on your shoulder, kind of runs his hand slightly over Bimit's head. We had best be off, chaps. The best way to honour your friends is to ensure that we are successful in our venture here.
Of course. Let's get going.
As you kind of go through the eastern side, you find yourself at the doorway, and you see that you are once again in a very very short corridor. You exit the main hall, and yeah, you're passing through a short corridor at this point, lit dimly by more sconces on either side of the wall, casting everything in a pale green kind of colour. Directly in front of you is a room, which is half covered in even more green glows, essentially. But there's something a bit different about this green glow. Rather than being cast from sconces, it actually seems to be coming from the floor itself. You cast your eyes down and you notice that there is a large amount of luminous green liquid at your feet. And it's covering around about half the room, the upper half of the room. The only light that's coming from the room is from the odd liquid, and using that light, you are able to see that this room is completely full of cages. Though most of the cages seem to be empty. The only noise that's actually initially coming from the room is the sound of running water coming from the top corner of the room. However, there does seem to be a little bit of movement in two of the cages.
I was going to say, can I bring out my Sunblade and just activate that? Because that releases a 5-foot radius of light.
Yes. So as you unsheath your Sunblade, essentially, it's kind of like a zoom, and yeah, 5 feet in front of you is completely illuminated. You can see that there is one of these small-ish cages. It seems to be constructed of wood and metal fastenings, and the one of the ones that is very close to you, just in front of the running weird green water, appears to be a figure in there.
Can I? I don't really want to walk on this green liquid. If I can dodge that. Actually, can I just get onto my knees and just give a touch of this green liquid, see if it's like harmful?
So as you touch the green liquid, roll me an Arcana check, please.
That's a 2.
You're not sure why, but nothing seems to be reacting with this liquid.
Reacting?
Yeah, so you're touching this liquid, but nothing's happening to you. But you're not sure why.
Just rub it into my fingers. Amrius, what do you think of this? Can I just hold it off as it... is it still on my fingers?
Yeah, he just kind of grabs your hand, takes it a bit closer, kind of sniffs it. With a natural 20. I do believe that is water.
Yeah.
Odd water nonetheless, luminous green liquid for water, but yes, water.
I think it's safer. Wipe my hands off from the thingy, and I go over to where this little movement is, just with my Sunblade.
So as you approach, you see a figure kind of like hunched over slightly, well, quite a lot, kind of crouched in. You can see that this cage is far too small for them. I guess you'd say that this figure, around about 6 foot-ish, they kind of have a human build to them, but as you're kind of like holding your Sunblade up close, you can see that the hair colour itself is teal, and it's grown like below their shoulders. Looking again, you can see that it's kind of whitening slightly, and as you're kind of like looking up and down, this figure is kind of faced away from you. You can see that they are wearing a robe, a hooded robe, that at one point would have had, well, it still does, have a blue and black, a gold, blue and black pattern to it, but after being held captive here for who knows how long, it's kind of muddied or faded, it's damp. Add to that, you can see just from the back, they seem to have some kind of leather boots going up towards their knees, and again, they look like they've seen better days. You can kind of glance around and you see that this figure is also wearing gloves.
Can I just give as I'm just holding the Sunblade, can I just give it just a bang just on the cage, see if it reacts?
Do you react?
Hello?
Who are you?
Oh my! Who are you?
I asked you that.
Well, I know. I'm Ezador. Sorry, I haven't seen anyone for quite some time. I'm taken aback a little bit, I must admit. Can you get me out?
As he's saying this and leaning towards you, you can now see the front of this being, essentially. And you can see he's got very pale skin, like very, very pale skin. One of his eyes is the same teal colour as his hair. However, the other one, his right eye, is purely black, giving the impression of just like one giant pupil. And as he's kind of like leaning forward to try and get you to let him out, you can just kind of glance under the robe that there's another series of fabrics that have deep orange colour into them. Strangely enough, you can see that you can actually see that he's still got a weapon. He's got a short sword. They don't seem to have taken that off of him for some reason.
What are you doing here, stranger?
Very good question. Very good question. I don't normally find myself in binds such as this, but I just honestly, I do not know. I don't know where I am. I don't know how long I've been here. There's no sun, no judge of time.
Amrius? I just turned to Amrius. I think we've got a prisoner.
Amrius kind of walks forward and just kind of crouches. Kind of leans forward and squints. Oh my, I must say I did not expect to find any other living survivors down here. It's not often that a court of death would do such a thing. Kind of like looks towards this creature. Hello there, my name is Lord Amrius, Reap of Salt Harbour. Who might you be?
Why, pleasant to meet you. I am Ezador, at your humble service. You look like an intelligent sort.
Amrius just kind of like shuffles up a little bit. Yes. Tell me, Ezador, how did you find yourselves to be confined within this temple?
Well, I don't know. The last thing I remember was I was out adventuring. I was rescuing a load of baby orphans from a beholder. And next thing I know, just the lights went out, as quick as a flame snuffed from a candle. And I wake up here. I've been here for, I don't know, I could not say.
I was gonna say, can I roll to see if he's telling the truth?
You can roll insight. Ezador, would you like to roll persuasion or deception, your call? Right now you don't have to tell us which one you're rolling. You just have to tell us the result.
Okay. Oh, I've got to do.
What was it? Insight again?
Insight, yeah.
12.
Oh, 13.
Yeah, so both Amrius and Gregor are just kind of like leaning a bit closer, like fully infused about this story. Oh, how odd. Oh, very, very odd. But nonetheless, a riveting tale. Tell me, if you were to be released from your confines, would you be interested, perchance, in... You see, myself, Gregor here, and...
I just nod my head at him.
The fellow behind us, Raynor. The fuck are you guys doing? Ah! And also their pet dragon, Bimit. We are part of a large expedition group, journeying through this temple, and we find ourselves a couple of men short. Unfortunately, we ran into some dreadful business. So I do not know how well you are able to handle yourself, but would you perchance be interested in becoming our bodyguard, essentially, for this?
I would not be in trouble. I didn't even know I was in a temple, to be honest with you. You seriously do not know me.
No, should I?
I'm Ezador. Ezador. I'm known by many names, I would say. I've been known as Ezador the Mighty, or Ezador the Stealer of Women's Hearts.
Can I roll another insight, see if I know?
You can.
Ezador the Procurer of all knowledge.
That's a 20, not.
So you've not heard of him, but you can tell that he might be exaggerating some of these nicknames.
I just look at him like.
I tell you what, if you let me out, I can assure you good fortune will follow you. Whether it be wealth, fame,
I just tend to Amber as well. We do need some more bodyguards.
Yes, very well. Gregor, if you would be so kind as to pop open the gate, as it were. I believe a dragon of yours, a dragonborn of your kind, of your stature, should be able to just rip the cage door off, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll just put my sunblade, just close that up, and I just grab both of it with both hands and try and yank it.
Roll me a strength check then, please.
10.
You kind of yank and it just kind of... as you're doing that, Rena just kind of walks up.
Fucking hell. Never send a dragon, or dragonborn, I guess.
Kind of looks towards Bennett.
I have to do an elf's work. You grab this side, I'll grab the other side of the door, and we'll both yank at the same time. Got it.
Can I assist?
And are you assisting as well?
Yes.
How are you assisting Ezador?
I'll push in from the inside as well.
Okay, Ezador, roll me a strength check then, please, first.
Six.
Okay, Raynor will roll a strength check. Also depends what his strength modifier is though. Raynor. Okay, Gregor, roll with advantage this time, strength check.
Oh, nice one. 19, I got rolled 215.
So, yeah, you kind of just... And you hear the splitting of wood as you kind of yank this door cage off and you throw it behind you, and it lands on the other side with a clattering sound. As it does, it hits another cage. You can either still focus on the chap in front of you, or you can have a look to see where this door has landed, essentially.
No, I'm looking at. Sorry, what's your name again?
Oh, freedom! It's Ezador.
How do you spell that?
E Z A D O R. You're a man of. You're a dragon of detail. I can appreciate that.
I just put my hand out just to help him out of the cage.
So yeah, you kind of help Ezador out, and Ezador, as you kind of you stand up, you feel your bones cracking. You're not quite sure how long you've been in that cage for, but it feels almost like a lifetime.
Oh, I do swear I must have been in there for a lifetime. But like I say, I couldn't really know. I must extend my humble gratitude. You won't regret it.
I'm sure we won't. I'm Gregor. Then I just point behind me. This is Bimit.
Ah, Bimit, you say?
Bimit notices you pronouncing the B very clearly and just kind of nods his head enthusiastically.
Oh, a fine creature.
He just
You're
kind
not
of,
intimidated by dragons?
No, not at all. Fascinated, I would say. I must, if Bimit would be so kind, let me study him. I mean, how fast can you fly?
Study how?
Well, observe, ask you questions.
Very well, but not in temple, not field. Study.
Okay, so I can see you're a wise dragon.
I just turn to Bibbit, just give him a pat. It's like, we've lost a couple of friends on the way.
Oh,
unfortunately, so we're not feeling in the right frame of mind to be.
Yeah, Bennett kind of nods sadly at the same time.
So heavy-hearted, are we?
Yes, unfortunately, but that's the job we took on.
As you guys are chatting, Raynor kind of pushes. As Ezador's about to open his mouth, Raynor kind of just like pushes Ezador slightly as he walks by. Not anything too aggressive, just kind of he wants to get into the room itself.
Yes, loss.
Pushes around.
Don't speak to me about loss. I know about loss.
Yes, we all know about loss. Now how about we make a choice? North or east? We've still found nothing apart from Mr. Blue Hair over there.
Yes, we'll get going.
As he does, he kind of walks by a quite a bit smaller cage and he kicks it. It kind of like lifts into the air and clatters into a bunch of other cages. As it does, you do notice that something inside that cage seems to have been thrown around a little bit.
Oh.
It's being thrown about.
So the cage itself, the small cage itself, or the smaller cage itself that Raynor like hoofed across the floor, you can see something kind of bounced around in it.
Can I roll for an insight? Not an insight. Can I roll to see if it was humanoid or something like that?
Your perception, then, please. It's now landed in the northern doorway, essentially. So it is being lit up by quite a lot of this green glowing liquid.
Sorry, what? Roll investigation.
Perception.
Perception.
Did I check? Do I have any of my stuff other than my short sword?
Not at the moment, no. 12 was that?
Yes.
Actually, sorry, Ezador, you also have your trinket with you.
Alright.
Roll me a history check, please, Ezador. What did you get again, sorry, Gregor?
I got a 12.
You're not sure if it's humanoid or not, but you reckon it can't be much bigger than about 3 and a bit feet.
Is it alive?
It's kind of moving around slightly. It's not moving around a lot, but it's moving around enough that it seems like it was disturbed from some kind of sleep after being kicked halfway across the room.
Amrius, I think we've got another prisoner. So I walk towards the little cage.
Okay, Ezador, what did you get?
15.
You're aware that you had more items to yourself when you came in. The cult members that brought you in, they did kind of like pocket all of it into a big bag, and they headed up north. What were you doing again? Sorry, Gregor, you were kind of directing.
Yeah, I was walking towards. I just said to Amrius, I think we've got another prisoner, and just headed towards where the cage was like bumped, and I saw the little mug.
So Amrius, yeah, very well. Go check it out, dear boy. I'll keep Ezador company as he is re-accustomizing to being a free man. And as you approach the small cage, you can see, a small little figure inside. It's kind of started to push itself up a little bit, although it's not really able to move too much in the cage itself. You can see that it is a very small being with thin, long, shaggy golden hair. Its skin, similar to Ezador's, is very pale. It's wrinkled and grey. You can see that this creature doesn't seem to have much weight to it at all. Roll me a nature check, please.
Nature? Natural one.
It's going to be one of those sessions.
Yeah, I think so.
It's already been one of those sessions. You think it might be a dog?
I think there's a little pooch in here. Hello?
Does the little apparent pooch answer back?
Oh, it's you.
This dog talks.
I'm not a dog.
Do you not?
Oh,
Kind of look like one.
I'm a gnome.
Ah, no.
And I've been following you everywhere.
I look confused.
I was going to say, Coogan also have Gregor roll a Constitution save as he is reminded of certain things potentially.
Me, you want me to roll a Constitution save?
Constitution save, yes, please. As you've just been told that you are looking at a forest gnome.
That's a 9.
Your eyes glaze over as this forest gnome is saying that it's been following you everywhere, as you start hearing fire crackling and the screams of hundreds of forest gnomes that you slaughtered in the 5-year campaign. You take 3 points of damage, of morale damage essentially.
3 points of damage.
Yeah, as you're remembering the scenes in Erebor of burning down a forest. You're not even sure of where this forest was. You know it was near one of the largest cities. You know that there were plains nearby. And you know that you helped slaughter a community of forest gnomes.
I just go straight to bed. I just look in shock at the gnome. Surprised that anyone survived.
Is no response?
I helped slaughter your people.
Straight out and tell him.
What was that, sorry?
I basically like in shock, like seeing what I saw is.
Yeah, sorry. Did you just tell this gnome that you slaughtered his people?
Yeah, in shock.
Small little gnome that we don't know the name of yet. How do you react to this?
Did you now? Well, then I guess we are not friends.
I just turned to Amish. There's nothing over here. We'll go on.
Roll deception.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
See that?
I thought you were being serious.
Dragonborn's a little bit peculiar, isn't he?
Yes, he does seem to be like that at times. I believe he may be a war veteran. You know how they are.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Can anybody maybe let me out?
Can we hear that? Can we hear that?
Yeah, Amber's just kind of. What the bloody hell was that?
Can I just walk away and just turn to Amaris? There's a prisoner back there.
Oh, release him then.
I just turn back around.
Why would you
and
not
just,
release a captive?
Yeah, I just turn back around, just quickly, just try and open the.
Yeah, roll me a strength check then, please.
That's a 16.
Yeah, with it being a much smaller cage this time, you kind of just grab it and just kind of like eat pretty much your arms on either side, just kind of and split the cage in two. This little gnome just kind of drops to the floor.
Ah. So you're not going to kill me now?
I'm still looking like very like I've basically seen 2 of my comrades die and then seen pretty much a ghost from the past. No. Well, seeing a gnome again, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not here for you. I'm here for that. I'll just turn and look at Bimit.
What do you want with Bimit?
Maybe its eyes just kind of widen a little bit.
Why?
I've been following your group
My group.
for days.
Why are you in cage you've been following?
I got put in a cage after that forest outside. I was trying to keep up with you.
Why were you following us?
I just told you. Because of this, you have a dragon.
And this
Dragons haven't
concern
been
you
seen for
because...
centuries. And you have one? Of course I'm going to follow. I'm interested.
And Raynor are now approaching this small little gnome. Amris kind of like crouches down. Yes, it has been quite some time since a dragon has been seen in these lands, but
It's been a very long time.
yes, centuries, as you said, but why would you not turn heel and run? Most people would, being faced with a group with a dragon.
Well, I'm not going to get very far, am I?
Tell me, you must have seen your captors.
I did not
What?
see the captors, no. Like I said, I was in the forest outside of this mine.
Same. I
And the
saw
next
no
thing you know,
one.
I'm watching you enter this village, this town, Menel. And I was about to follow, and all of a sudden, I'm out cold. Nothing. Don't remember anything. I must have been clubbed. I wake up and I'm inside one of these cages. And here I am, but now I'm really close to you. And now look at this. Look at this. I want to try and touch Bimit on the side.
Bimit growls. Like
This-
very
this-
loud growls.
I
There's
would
more
leave him
time.
alone.
Yes,
Well,
there's more time for this. There's more time for
Gregor, a word if you may.
Hmm?
I would like to speak in private, please.
Yes.
If that is, he's still kind of crouched down next to this gnome. If that is quite alright with you, we would just like to discuss what your potential role might be within our group if you are to...
my role.
Well, yes, I do not believe we can just leave a creature such as yourself to fend for themselves. Obviously, you cannot look after yourself if you are not out control, can you?
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you,
Yes,
sir. Thank you.
If you would just wait here a second. Ezador, would you and Raynor, as your first task, I guess, for our group, would you mind keeping an eye on, what was your name again?
I never said my name.
What is your name then?
Oh, of course, my name is Dix. That's Dix. For short.
Well, Dix, my name is Lord. Well, no, technically I'm not a lord. I will have to change that when we get back. I am blah blah. I cannot speak apparently. I am Amrius of the House Reap from Salt Harbour. I am
Pleasure,
currently
sir.
on an expedition with my son Ebchar, who is elsewhere. Our current section of the group consists of myself, our bodyguard Gregor the Last. Unfortunately, this moniker seems all too apt nowadays. Along with our another bodyguard of ours, Raynor. Raynor just...
You're
Yes,
very
I'm-
small.
I am very small, yes. I'm familiar with your group. I've been following. Where are the you feel you appear to be two companions short?
Well,
I just walk away at this point.
Yeah, Gregor is now walking back with Amrius.
Oh heavens, what happened?
well, that's a bit of a touchy subject. One of them lost their arm by a mimic. And then I guess because it was I'm not too good with medicine and stuff, but I guess a vein or something caused it to go with blood. And the other one, oh wow, well, this guy was a monk. He couldn't hold his temper that well, though. Not the greatest.
A monk that couldn't hold his temper?
Yeah, crazy, right? And the bard
What a
who couldn't
shame.
get laid.
What a shame.
Yeah, they were both
I would have liked to have
crazy
met him.
characters. Yeah, the bard who couldn't get laid and the monk who couldn't hold his temper. What a card. But nonetheless, this monk got bitten too by the exact same mimic.
The same?
It wasn't that long ago though. So you see that big dragon guy?
This only just happened.
Yeah, about 5-10 minutes ago, maybe half an hour. I don't know, time is weird down here. But the big dragon guy and the actual dragon, it was their group. He's thirsty at the last. So maybe don't bring up that. And also don't say any puns like, let's give him a hand, or he's half the person he used to be. Because I did that, and it did not go down well.
No, it's such a horrible thing to say.
Well, I thought it was funny. How about you, Ezador? If you saw someone get their arm bitten off, would you lend them a hand?
I believe you were trying to lighten the mood.
No, I was being a cunt.
Oh, well.
It's what I do.
And fucking hell, my voice. At this, we'll go back to Amris and Gregor, as Amris has kind of led you away to the darkened corner of the room. What do you think of Dix? Was it Dix?
Dix?
Do you believe? How are you able to hear me? We're on the other side of the bloody room.
Oh, I can hear everything.
Just kind of leans in closer to Gregor. I think we can trust him.
Can I have a look at Dix and just roll a quick insight?
Can I also roll to see if I can still hear them?
Okay, roll. Hang on. Dix, do you have anything that would, any abilities or all like that would allow you to hear further?
No, I just made a boo-boo.
You just made a boo-boo.
Yeah, I just made a boo-boo.
Roll perception with disadvantage. Gregor, you can roll insight.
4 then for me.
You can't hear them. It's amazing
Natural
that you could hear
20.
them in the first. Okay, so what exactly are you trying to figure out about Dix?
Is he trustworthy? Like, especially for me, because I may have told him that I've slaughtered his people.
Okay, so because this was kind of a bit of an emergency, I as the GM do not fully know about Dix. However, what I will do is this. Who is clicking on the map for a start?
Not me.
Oh, that's odd. What I will do is this. Dix, you do not have to tell Dix, if you've been lying, if you told a single lie, you have to tell us that it was a lie. But you don't have to tell us what was the lie.
Okay.
So since we've met you, have you told a lie?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Have you been threatening at all?
Have I been threatening?
No, sorry. Have any of your words have had ulterior motives? Again, you don't have to tell us what they are, just if they have. Because you got a 20, I'm going to have to ask like 1 or 2 questions here.
Only as a means of trying to get a foot in the group.
Okay. Gregor, you don't believe he poses any imminent risk to yourselves. You don't believe he's told any outright lies or anything like that. Similar to Ezador, like when Ezador was saying about all of his different names and stuff, you're like, something's not quite right. You believe the same with Dix, but not necessarily in a malevolent way. Just kind of trying to fit in, essentially.
To be honest, I think this gnome is... I think he's been telling the truth. I think he'd be trustworthy. Just kind of like a bit of a snarl on my face, really. I don't really want to know.
With an 8, Amrius doesn't even notice that. Oh, trustworthy, you say? Okay. Very well, we will put it into the group. Dix, how can you hold your own in combat?
Well,
Just show me that.
I'm not the strongest, but I am a wizard.
A wizard, you say?
A wizard?
We don't currently have one of those.
You don't have a wizard in your group?
No, we have
There we
Gregor
are,
here, just
there
kind
we
of,
are,
like,
sir.
slapping
There we
his
are.
hand on Gregor's shoulder. But a cleric is not a wizard, so okay, very well. If we find ourselves in combat, I believe what we should do is well, if you retain towards the back and let some of the bigger ones of the group take the physical front, you can protect us from the rear with your magical spells, unfortunately.
Yes, I'm wonderful with magic. You will see. You will see. I appreciate everything you've said today, sir.
I'm going to extend my hand
well-
to him and just go, "Hello there, little dick."
Hello to you. It's Dix, but just put this wrinkly old hand up here with an arch right down.
Kind of like the dominant kind of.
I would do the same.
It's nice to meet you. You're Ezador? Is it Ezador head?
Ezador, yes, you are.
Ezador!
You're a delightful little fellow.
And you're
aren't
new. You're new, just like me.
I am new. Well, not in life, but to the group, yes.
No. None of us are new in life.
Can I
It's
just
good
have a
to
look
meet
and
you
see if
all.
there's any more prisoners in the cage?
Yeah, roll me a perception, please. So, what did you get, sorry, Gregor?
I got a 9.
You are unable to find anyone, I'm afraid.
This is exciting.
Indeed it is. And another wizard, eh?
Yes. Does this mean I can ride the dragon?
Amaris kind of looks over to Gregor. I am going to relinquish authority to you over Bimit. I mean, Bimit has his own autonomy, but I believe it might be wise for us to allow you to make the decisions for him.
Bimit, would you let a gnome ride you?
Let it buy me dinner first.
No,
Can I hear that?
no, that was a joke. That was not canon. Get out.
Bimit has only allowed kin to ride upon Bimit. Little gnome is not kin.
No, I am not kin. But I mean you no harm, I promise.
Bimit
If not today, then maybe another day. But I promise you, I mean you no harm.
I don't see anything else in this room, so I'm just gonna walk out.
Yep. As you're are you heading north or east? So there is. I'll reveal a little bit from where you can see at the moment. There is a small hallway leading up north from where you are, and you can also see that on the east side, so away from the rest of the carts and everything like that, there appears to be another hallway. Another hallway. It seems longer than the northern one, but again, just like the northern one, you can't actually see the room that it's leading out into.
I was gonna say, do I notice these two hallways?
Yeah, you've been able to tell since you kind of got into the room, because these the sconces on the side of the walls both have that kind of sickly green hue to them, like all the other like all the other ones, basically all the other rooms have had these green sconces. These do too, and they're just kind of like little passageways of light.
Amrius, we've got 2 hallways before us. Do you think it's wise if we split up?
Let me take a head count here as to who we have at the moment. We have myself, an archaeologist. We have you, who is our bodyguard, and Bennett, who is pretty much going to go with you regardless of whether or not he is a working member of the group or not, as it were. We have Raynor, who is a bodyguard, and of course we have our 2 newest additions, Ezador, who has so graciously agreed to be a bodyguard, and Dix, who is a wizard, so sort of a bodyguard, but also sort of a wise one, I would assume. I do not know. Can you?
Would you like? You'd like me to be a bodyguard?
I mean, a wizard or a head, I would assume. Yes.
I am a wizard. Yes.
Is it offensive magic or
didn't-
defensive magic that you practice in Dix?
It's both.
Very well. Well then, yes. Not so much as a bodyguard assault, but someone who can handle their own, that does not need to be looked after by Gregor or Ezador. Or even
My traits are mainly, I'd say, creativity and exploration. But yes, I could try and be body. Let's just take a couple of days, a few days, and let's see where I fit into the most best.
My dear gnome, we do not intend to be in this temple for more than a few hours, never mind a couple of days. Unfortunately, once this expedition is over, I believe most of us are going our separate ways.
Oh. Well, okay. Let's just see what happens then.
Very well. To answer your question, Gregor, unfortunately, I do not believe it would be a wise idea to split up. I do not believe it would be wise to split up once more. So,
Right, so where should we head? Should we go north or should we go east?
I believe that might be your choice, my dear boy. I would personally choose to go north, but as the bodyguard, as the main bodyguard of this group, as the main bodyguard of this group, I would trust your judgment.
Let's head north.
Very well. Let us. I can't even remember the posh word I was going to say. So let us head northern again. So how many of you are there now? 6 of you? 5 of you? There's 5 of you. No, there's 6. The Raynor's there as well. Goodness. Jesus Christ. Sorry, yeah. The 6 of you head upwards, and as you do, you pass through another short hallway, the one, Gregor, that you had spotted before. And you find yourself in a dark room. A dark room which, and you're going to love my characterization here of it, is much darker than any other room so far in the temple. The only light that's penetrating from this darkness is the kind of glow of the sconces behind you. You can kind of make out a circular shape in front of you, barely visible at all, but because the metal bars that are kind of across it is reflecting these green sconces, and you can see that it is completely flat to the floor, but it looks from the direction that you're at to be kind of like a grated pit of some sort. There's also, as you're kind of approaching this room, a foul smell that pretty much assaults your nose as you approach the room. You're not quite sure what it is, but it seems to be emanating from the circular shape. It smells rotten. And you can also make out a distinct dripping noise coming from the rear of the room. Whatever it is, it's dripping into a well-established puddle, with each drip hitting more liquid instead of solid ground itself.
I'll just slowly take out my sunblade again and just...
So as you can see that the room itself is because you can see immediately 5 foot in front of you, but the light is kind of emanating out of it. You can see it's quite an expansive room. It's the size of a couple of houses put together. Well over half the space though is taken up by this large, deep well. The bars on this well seem dark red, and there seems to be stuff stuck to these bars as well. You can't really, from the distance where you are from the well at the moment, you can't see into it. But behind it, it looks to be almost like a torture chamber. Even with your light on, with your sunblade on, you can almost not see anything in this room. It is almost completely black. You can make out a couple of shapes which might be torture racks. There's a couple of glints off the wall which might be weapons on racks. But yeah, it is pretty much dark. You can see towards the back that there's more blood stains. There's an axe embedded into the wall. There's some racks around.
Can I see more with dark vision?
You've got dark vision. How far does that extend?
Dark vision for me as well, 60 feet.
Okay, 60 feet. Okay, I'm just gonna have to turn something on very quickly. Done. Be all like, oh no, we're in that done. Because we're not, it's just so that I can figure out the 60 feet you say, 10, 50.
Oh, it's there.
Oh, that's helpful.
Ooh, what's going on?
I literally just said this, Coogan.
Sorry.
I was turning the cell opacity up so I could figure out the distance. So both of you can just about see with your dark vision past the pit itself, past the well itself. So yeah, you can make out a couple of shapes in the distance. So to the northwest, there seems to be a set of 4 tables, fully to the west. So like literally just next to you in the entranceway are some shackles on the wall. To the east, there's a couple more of the cages that you guys were found in. You can't see all the way to the back of the room, but you can also see in the northeast, just beyond the pit, is a couple of chests lined up against the wall. You believe that, well, I'll let you decide what you believe about these chests, as you guys have had some rollicking time with chests.
Can I just walk over? Just walking around the pit until I get to the far side of the pit.
When you say the far side, do you mean just okay? So yeah,
Just
as you're walking around this pit,
just putting my sunblade just over the pit, see if I see anything as I'm just walking around it.
Okay, so you can see down into the pit from where you are. You can see that it's constructed of many stone pieces, but all of the stones essentially become blood-stained on both the exterior and interior. It seems to descend quite deep indeed. However, because of the contents of the well, we'll say, it looks like there's only about a 20-foot drop, with blood taking the rest of it. As you're walking,
is there anything around the side of it, like a stone or something like that?
It's pretty much almost flush against the ground. There's a couple of inches of stone raising it above, but it's almost like if you walked forward towards it, you wouldn't really have to have much of a step up.
Yeah, I just keep walking around until I get to the other side. I'm going to see what's in the corner of these thingies. Just walking steadily towards
Okay, so yeah, as you're kind of walking around, where are you going again, sorry? Can you just highlight
I'll start in the left-hand side. See what's over to these beds.
Can you highlight it for us, please, sorry?
I thought they were bed. These.
Yeah. Can you just do it again for us one more time, please? Yeah, wonderful. Sorry, I was just checking something. Okay, so yeah, as you're passing by and you're holding the light, again, you can see that these bars are covered in viscera. However, you make your way up towards the actual top left. And yeah, you can see that these beds that what you thought were beds are actually torture racks. There's 4 of them, and the source of the noise is right behind them. There is what appears to be more blood just flowing out the wall. One of these beds has definitely seen better days, the one that's pretty much in front of the blood waterfall, as it were. The other one closest to you at the moment, so next to the pit itself, is just kind of blood-stained, but you do see that there is an axe embedded into it, and the axe itself has a lot of blood on it.
I was going to say, do I tell if this blood's recent?
Roll me an investigation check.
Nine.
You can't tell shit. As he's doing this, Amaris is also kind of like just following behind you, just, my god, is this what they do to prisoners? I wonder if this is to do with the communion. Maybe there was a, what was it? In this godforsaken temple.
I was going to say, do I notice, like kind of torture chamber?
I mean, you notice that it's a torture chamber. That is pretty much impossible not to notice at this point.
Yeah, like, have I seen like a place like this before?
You have, not like this exactly, but you've been in torture chambers before. But as you're kind of looking around with Amrius, Dix and Ezador, what are you guys up to at the moment?
Well, where's the other? Oh, little Dix.
Yes.
Do me a favour, keep your eye out for a backpack, would you? I would awfully like to find that again.
A back? Have you lost your backpack?
Yes, well, I know that it was bundled off somewhere. They went down this way, I think. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind getting it back. He had a few trinkets of mine, a few whatnots.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know which way we came in.
Well,
but I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. Of course.
Thank you very much, little Dix. Who's closest to me that's not Dix?
So the only other person there at this point now is Raynor. Bimit had kind of like Bimit is pretty much keeping pace constantly now with Gregor. Amrius followed behind him, just kind of like in awe is the wrong word, horror, I guess. Passing by in horror at the scene around. And Raynor's the only one that's kind of stood behind you.
Right. Can I just then turn to Raynor and go, Raynor?
Yeah.
Me, I sort of can't really speak for the gnome, but I'm sort of longing for the sweet embrace of the sun. And yet, I feel like you are not after the exit.
No. You'd be right there. You see,
okay.
We are part of a glorious expedition. Who are, Amrius, what the fuck are we doing here?
Amrius just turns around. We are searching this temple for information upon Myrkul itself, looking for artifacts, and I believe that Gregor's group, before most of them met their untimely end, was looking for a plinth, was it? Yes, a plinth. We believe that it might be the one in the main hall, but unfortunately not. The one in the main hall was just sheer slate stone. It did not have the old calcum needed to be a plinth. So we are hunting for the plinth for them. That was the reason why they joined. And for myself and my boy Joe, we're kind of looking for relics within here.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm the man for the job. I know all about plinths and temples.
Oh, please enlighten us a little bit on plinths. We are.
Do I hear this?
Yes, you can hear.
I just listen intently as I'm just looking at the torture chamber, like tables.
We are kind of searching in the dark for these plinths. All I know is orichalcum is part of this construction, but every god's plinth is slightly different.
Yes, you'd be right there. They are indeed.
Is there any way that we could perchance know one when we see one? What defining attributes are there to a plinth?
What, to a plinth?
Yes.
Well, it depends what kind of plinth you're looking for. Yes,
A deity, dear boy.
yes, plinths for deities, they're a special kind. Come in many shapes and sizes. Oh, I've had much experience with plinths, I have.
Can I roll an insight for that as well, please?
You can.
I even had my own once. Huge it was.
Okay, now Amrius is
20, not natural.
Amrius buys this, but Gregor, the second that he started saying he's had his own plinth once upon a time, it's bullshit.
Sorry, did I believe the rest, or...?
No, the second that he started talking about having his own plinth, you realise that he doesn't know what the fuck he's saying about plinths.
Also, can I listen out for where the blood's pouring out?
Yeah, you can see it. I described it's behind the top left bed. It's kind of like a grate in the wall, and it's just kind of gushing out, and as you're kind of looking down, you can see that it's kind of like running close towards the well itself.
Yes, I knew
it's just a crate, so it's like a tiny thing.
Yeah, it's just like kind of blood's coming down from it, like a mini blood waterfall essentially.
Yes, I knew you'd like this kind of shut up.
I think we should leave this room.
Did you just say something to me, Cazador?
I'm looking round for Cazador.
Ezador, whatever your name is. Teal
Me?
boy. Yeah,
No.
you said something
No.
about liking this room.
Oh, that came out loud, did it? Well,
Yes.
it's okay. There's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. No, not now.
Raynor just kind of pushes by.
There's some chests here. Your backpack might be in there.
Oh,
However, be very, very careful with chests. Because one of them just took out a third of his group. Well, 2/3 of his group.
I just walk out at that point.
You don't. I'm gonna have to hold you there for a second.
okay. Is there any stone near me?
There's the stonework of the well. But yeah, sorry, Gregor, I'm saying that you're not at the moment because you've been doing stuff up north while this has happened. Yes, there's the stone well, and the floor is all made out of stone too.
No pebble.
No small pebble or all like that, no loose stones. There's some chains nearby, and there's some of the chests as well. Some of the crates are quite small.
Well, Well, first I'll ask. Why? What was it with the chests? What could possibly have gone wrong there?
Oh, it turns out some monsters in chests. Mimics, they're called. I don't know how long you've been down here for, but...
Mimics, yes. I've been down here for quite some time, but not beyond the cage. I didn't even know I was in a temple, to be truth be told.
How about you, Gnome? Did you know you were in a temple?
No.
Very well, very well.
Well,
Just observing.
let's see if these are mimics, I say, because I wouldn't mind getting my stuff back. There's some things in there I wouldn't mind procuring once more.
So yeah, as you walk around the well, then you're now a bit closer to where the rest of the group is. Raynor kind of is following behind. Dix, are you following as well?
Yeah, I'm just keeping out the back and just observing as we're going around here.
Yeah. So yeah, you're kind of like a level then with Raynor, because Raynor is trying to basically keep his eye on both of you in case anything happens. So, Ezador, there are 2 chests. There's one slightly higher up the room. Basically, do you go for the one closest to you or the one furthest from you?
I would like to check if it's a mimic.
Okay,
Oh!
how are you going to...
Can I cast magic missile and do one on each of them.
Yeah. Would you like to tell the table how that works?
I create 3 glowing darts, magical force, a creature of your choice, I choose the chest, that you can see within range. A 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. I can pick 1, 2, or 3 targets for the darts.
Is that like a roll to hit as well, or is it just a straight up hit?
You create 3 glowing darts, creature of your choice, the darts strike simultaneously, you can direct them. Oh, one action. Instantaneous. It doesn't say.
I think it's a straight up hit.
I think it is a straight up hit.
Just says instant. Yeah.
Okay, roll your damage then as you're hitting both of them.
Okay. So we'll be getting it twice, but I mean, it's not actually a fight, is it?
No. So yeah, roll your 1d4 plus 1, and then double it for the chests.
1d4, 1d4, and 1d4. And then double it, did you say?
Oh, no, just add 2 of them onto one of them then, sorry, because 2 missiles I think usually hit one chest.
Alright, okay, so 2. So one's a 3, one's a 5, and one's a 3.
Okay, so one takes 8 and one takes 3. So the one that takes 3, the closest one to you, just kind of shatters slightly, just kind of, and in it, as it shatters, you see the backpack.
Behold!
So yeah, the second and third magic missiles kind of like ram into the second chest and just kind of like a, and as it kind of shatters it, Dix, you didn't even realise at first, you've kind of just been so happy to be out and amazed at the dragon. But your items currently aren't on your person. And as you see Ezador, I'm assuming, run to get his bag of stuff, you realise that this chest that has just been destroyed by the other magic missiles, the other bag that's fallen out might just hold your stuff in it.
Ah, my bag!
Yeah, you
Run over, pick it up, open it, check it all out.
Everything that you had when you got captured is in there.
Ah, yes. Straight over the shoulder. And to the back of the room again.
Same with you, Ezador, I'm guessing straight over the shoulder with your bag and whatnot.
Yep, just straight over my shoulder, feeling chuffed.
As you do, so are you all starting to make your way back to the rest of the group, essentially? The group are at the north end now. Gregor, directly in front of you, you can see another opening.
Who can, sir?
Oh, well, if you've all joined Gregor, then all of you can see this.
Yeah,
there's an opening to your east. It doesn't show on the map. No. So you kind of you've all gone past the well, and you've headed right to the north end of the room. So on the eastern side, there is an entrance to another hallway that you've not gone down yet, or you can head back down south.
Ooh, another tunnel. Maybe plinths.
I'm gonna just have a look in, see how far this corridor goes.
Well, as you start taking a glance in, roll me a perception check, please.
I believe that is that perception. 16.
So you're kind of looking down and you can see again it's another like 30, 40 feet maybe. But 16 you say?
16, yeah.
But as you're kind of looking down, you can... Sorry. As you're looking down, you can hear, just like further down,
I don't see why we had to destroy the corpse. Like, why did we have to take it down to the crypt? Why couldn't that goblin do it? Brown face fuck. You know he holds much, much more authority than we do. He's talked to the Great One. Well, yeah, but still, he's only joined us a little while ago.
Can I just face?
Nice.
Can I just turn around, just look at everyone, just go?
Amrius just kind of nods and just kind of backs away slightly. How do Dix and Ezador?
Crouch. Not like it needs to.
And Ezador, how are you?
Make it 1.5 foot off the ground.
I'm just going to look at the gnome in confusion of why he's crouching.
Are you not trying to hide at all then at this point?
Not really.
So Ezador is kind of like stood. Kind of like.
Has everybody else hit? Have you hit, Gregor?
No, I've just turned around and just went.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to have kind of like quietened and crouched down slightly though, as a like a reaction from that. But both you and Gregor are now kind of like stood in the entranceway.
Well, I hope he's not ascended. I mean, like, if the rest of them have all ascended, then what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're not priests. We can't do it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to do the priest ritual. Nope, can't say I do. How about you, big guy?
I'm now going to crouch with Dix.
Okay, and Gregor, are you also
Yeah,
crouching?
I'm crouching as well.
Okay, everyone roll me stealth checks then, please. And whereabouts in the room are you hiding? I'll let you all
I'm
choose.
just next to the wall. Do you know where it's going into the thingy? Just just against the wall.
Okay, I get you.
4 for me.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Uh,
I think I'm going to change my dice.
Yeah, I think you guys need to change dice. Jesus Christ.
I know. Not done anything above an 8 today.
So, Dix, where were you hiding again? Sorry.
Well, I was at the back already.
Yeah.
So, whatever is the closest wall, either on the right or left side.
Okay, I'll say that you're further down the room than Gregor is, but you're in the same line as Gregor. Amrius is trying to hide behind one of the torture chambers, and he is successful in doing so, quite successful. Bimit, using his claws, is trying to scale up onto the ceiling, like almost dangling upside down. He's kind of successful. It doesn't look like he's going to hold on for long. Raynor is taking a similar route to Amrius, is hiding literally next to Amrius. Very badly. He's kind of like poking his head out. Ezador, what did you get, sorry?
3.
3, and where are you hiding?
I might as well just stand next door to Amrius.
Okay, so the 3 of you are kind of like hiding behind this torture table, right at the edge of the room. However, because there's 3 of you and it's only a short table, both Raynor and Ezador are kind of like poking out slightly. More importantly though, Gregor, as you kind of like slam against the wall to try and hide, you kind of into a bunch of chains.
Hey, what was that? I think... Did something come... Was there a noise from the prep room? I think... Guys, I don't think we're alone here. It could just be... the goblin guy and the rest of the group. Could be, but I don't think it is. They've already fucked off, no doubt.
And with
Can
that,
I make the sound of a bat?
do bats make noises?
Yeah. The squeak.
Roll me a performance check with disadvantage, I guess.
A nibble.
Nibble.
7, 8, 9. I'm gonna roll my actual real dice.
I was going to say with disadvantage as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
point. Let's try my real dice anyway. 11. So 9.
So, as you're kind of making this noise, you see a small little halfling run out, followed by another halfling who runs out directly behind him. And slightly behind him Slightly behind this guy, this little halfling he's running through, you also see kind of like an armor-clad being, basically, kind of like plunking his way through, just, and you can hear from the sounds of it, there might be another one behind him too.
Has he noticed us?
Yeah, the second that bat cry came out, we're really not alone here, guys. Just spread out. And the second you see anyone, and as he says that, and he's kind of turning around, the second you see, comes face to face with Gregor and Ezador, just kind of like pressed up against the wall. And as he's kind of looking there and seeing him face to face, the other one, the kind of more gruff-spoken one, has just kind of walked into the room just before the torture tables, and you can see Raynor and the one who walked in first can see Gregor and Dix, and the more gruff-spoken one who is now looking at the torture table, can see Raynor and Ezador just kind of poking up. Guys, now. And these two lumping, armor-clad, hulking, moaning beings just kind of clomp their way through, just followed, finally, by a robed figure. This robed figure is not saying anything as he walks into the room. He seems kind of calm. Everyone roll initiative. Sorry guys, if you hadn't have failed those saves quite as badly, you might have been able to get a quick drop on them.
2.
12.
12, okay, give me 1 second, I just need to load.
This is why I'm just trying to get the spell slots in, because it's annoying that, because I spent ages putting them in before. They just disappeared.
20.
So Ezador is natural 20. Gregor, what are you?
2.
2. Dix, what are you?
12.
12. Bimit.
Why are you on 12? Do you add your initiative as well?
Yeah, you've got an initiative bonus.
Sorry, that's a 4 then for me.
Okay, so that's 4. It doesn't really change the order at the moment. Bimit is... Bimit is a 16. Amrius... Sorry, it's the great thing about having so many characters at the moment. Amrius is a... We also have Ragnarok. Okay, so Natural 20. Ezador, what is your dexterity? It's your straight up dex number, not the dex modifier.
11.
Okay, so this boy's gonna go first then. Okay, so our order of combat then is Fanatic 1, then Ezador, then Amrius, I believe, then Bimit, then Dix, then Raynor, then Knight 1, Fanatic 1, Mage 1, Knight 2, and then finally Gregor. So, first off then, in our order of combat, we have Fanatic 1. So, this chap just kind of looks across the group. He sees that Dix and Gregor are kind of like pressed against the wall. Just turns back to his group. We need to contain this very fast. We need to make sure that they don't find the others. The shorter one is like, by any means necessary. By any means necessary. And at this fanatic is going to make his way over to what he believes is the easiest target, the small little Dix. What I should also do, now that we are in combat, is to make it a bit easier for us to see distances. You can tell we're in combat, the grids come out. So he is going to use a first level spell. He just kind of starts waving his hands around and pulls a knife out, because I did not check the description here. And he is going to take a slash at you, Dix. So does a 13 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is how it's going to go.
That's 50 points of damage.
Okay, so
Did I not get any stealth bonuses for being down there?
I don't think you passed your stealth check. None of you passed your stealth check apart from Amrius.
Did we not?
No, Amrius was the only one who passed his stealth check. So now, unfortunately, you get no stealth bonus.
I didn't think I rolled a stealth check.
I thought you did. I thought everyone had.
I might have done. I might have just forgot about it.
You take 16 points of damage as he kind of like slashes down, and as he does, the knife digs in, the dagger digs in, and you can see, looking down, you can see like this black mass just spread out immediately across you. After you feel necrotic damage.
Right.
Next up, we have Ezador.
Well, if we must spend some time, I'm going to draw a sigil and cast. I just had it a second. Blade Ward.
Okay. Would you like to explain to the group what that does?
It's going to do a sigil in front of me, and it's going to give me resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks to the next turn.
Okay.
And then...
Yeah.
going to ready action
Yeah.
and just say, no, not yet, not yet.
Okay, so next up then we have Amrius. And Amrius, seeing that in front of it, directly in front of him, is another fanatic. Amrius is going to hold his hand out, and he's just going to start muttering incantations to himself. And as he does, you can see like the runes that have been etched into his skin just start glowing slightly. He lets out a burst of frost as it kind of like reaches out and covers this other fanatic. As it covers the fanatic, it takes 4 points of damage, just kind of like freezing on it. You just say,
Who was that on, sorry? The top
That is-
left.
this chap here.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, Bimit, who was being kind of hidden pretty much on the roof, you see that he's kind of made his way directly above where the fanatic that was attacking Dix was, and he drops down just behind it. And he is going to...
Right on top of that.
I was going to say it was right on top of it at first, but yeah, probably best not to do that. Just need to find his. So he kind of like takes a large slash across, and you can tell that the death of Ivor and Rag has weighed heavily on him, as he has got a nat 20.
Yay!
Nice.
Go Bimit!
He kind of like slashes down, and this other fanatic turns around, and as he does, he kind of like catches him by the neck and just kind of drags it down. He deals 19 points of damage to him, and so this fanatic just, as the blood starts gushing out of his wound a little bit, Bimit raises another claw. This time though, he does manage to miss. It just kind of like chinks off like the arm of this fanatic, but he kind of raises his mouth wide open, like saliva dripping from his mouth. And so that is 16. And he managed to clamp directly onto the wound that he already opened up. And as he does, you can hear more crunching as he bites deeply into his neck, kind of like. And as he does, he kind of rips upwards and tears a chunk of blood out, and deals another 7 points of damage. This fanatic is bleeding heavily. He's kind of like slumped over as the blood is gushing from this wound. So next up, Dix, we are up to you. As this dragon that you've been trying to ride drops down, slashes the fanatic that attacked you, and just rips a chunk out of his neck.
Right, he's still standing, yeah?
He is. He doesn't seem to be doing too well though.
Right. So burning hands then.
Yep. What does that
I'm
do?
going to cast it at 3rd level.
Okay.
It's basically a sheet of flame shoots forth. A creature. Oh, it's a bit annoying actually. cone. What would you class a cone as?
What's the...
Areas of cones. So
Yeah,
let's say
no,
if you've got a-
but how big is it? What's the area of effect for the
15 feet.
So, let me get a shape drawn.
Would that be 4 squares in a square?
So 15 you say, so that's... Where are
Yeah,
you? You're
so
here, aren't
that's-
you? So, 1, 2... There we go, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'd class it as that.
I'll just do that. Yeah, right.
Or potentially... Something along those lines.
Okay.
So like 3 squares in front, 3 squares, that third, 3 squares in front, that middle square is the epicenter, so you've got one on either side, and then a line joining either side of them.
Alright, get this then. With me having high intelligence, would
Yes.
you say that I already know that with this being a dragon next to me, he has resistances against fire?
Roll me intelligence with advantage.
Intelligence, not intelligence.
Yeah, I was
It'd
just
be
thinking that. Knowledge. No, it's intelligence. It's just
an intelligence check, right?
Yeah, just roll me an intelligence check with advantage.
13.
You suspect. You don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
you see a dragon. Dragons breathe fire. Should be fine.
Right, okay. Third spell burning hands then. So each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dex saving throw. Or damage will occur.
Okay. Let's roll for fanatic number 1.
That's a dex of 15 as well.
Doesn't matter. You got a match, right?
Did it?
So as you kind of like bring your hands, how are you doing this? Sorry.
So it will be if it's a successful save, it's half the damage.
Oh, okay.
So this is. I'm gonna do it my own way. So I'm just gonna tip my hat and release this flame. It's a thin sheet of flame, and anything in the vicinity that are flammable objects will engulf in flames that aren't being worn or carried.
Obviously, where you are at the moment, yeah, there's nothing that will get
No.
caught on fire. But as you like kind of tip your hat out, and the flame kind of spews out, this fanatic kind of like just looks, or like clutching his wound as it still spurts out, just looks up and just kind of like rolls out of the way. It does catch him still. How much does it deal?
Let's have a look then.
And as it does, Bimit bears the full brunt of this spell.
So 3 extra, 3 last piece.
No, I'm just gonna go. Oh, the little tyke has fire! Oh.
So half of that would be 8.
8, okay.
8 points of damage, yeah.
So, Bimit also takes 8, because yes, you are correct. He is resistant to fire.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this fanatic rolls out of the way, and Bimit takes the entire brunt of it, and just you hear,
Little gnome. Why? But help.
I apologise.
See you do.
as you do that, and the fanatic tries to roll out the way, a little bit kind of like catches onto his leg, and it starts travelling up quickly, and you can see as the flames consume him. And he perishes. So Fanatic 1 is off the board straight away. We are now up to Raynor. So Raynor, at this point in time, he can see the other Fanatic that Amrius attacked. He's kind of like trying to eye him over, and you can see he's kind of like conflicted, trying to think of what to do, thinking of different ways to do this. Then said, fuck it. Just pulls out his bow, racks up 2 arrows in it. His first one just flies straight forward and embeds itself directly in the fanatic's like chest, dealing 5 points of damage. The fanatic just kind of like takes a step back, just the second arrow just also just releases and goes straight into the hulking knight, and that also deals 7 points of damage. So it kind of like finds a little crack in the armor and just this knight just kind of looks up towards Raina and just is all that you can hear from it.
Good
Next
shot,
up,
Raina.
We've got the lumbering knight at the back, just kind of clinks his way down. He's noticed that there is a dragon, there is a gnome, and there is what appears to be a human, so he's just clinking his way down. He notices Ezador. He raises his sword, his big great sword, and he slashes down at you, Ezador.
Hang on, at me?
Yeah, at you.
I thought I was on the left side with Raina.
No, you were on the right side with... Oh, wait, shit, yeah, sorry.
I was like, that's me.
Yeah, no, sorry, Gregor.
He can take a shot at Ezador if he
No,
wants.
I'm glad that you pointed that out, because we're not using accurate icons at the moment. I'm just like, I'm fucking everywhere. I'll make sure that we have accurate ones.
Yeah, I think it's because she was meant to be there, wasn't you? Because you did it with me, crouched with me at the wall thing.
Mm. So 20 hits, yeah? And
Yeah.
now 20 hits.
God.
Aha, dodged it.
Yeah, you just linked onto the other side next to Raynor. Fucking hell.
One of my skills.
Okay, so that is... Sorry guys, I seem to be getting good rolls tonight. So that is... Just kind of slashes directly down, Gregor, and you are still reeling from the loss that you've already had. And the sword cuts directly into your arm and just drags down and kind of like pulls you forward with it, and it deals 24 points of damage. But that is his go for now. We are now... he's dead. So we are up to the mage. This mage back here. He actually retreats back slightly. So the mage that was kind of like at the back end just actually retreats further in. And he's gonna... That's his go for now, we'll say. Finally, on the bad guy go, I guess. This hulking mass just clumps over, and this time he does actually go over towards Ezador. Raises up his large greatsword. You just hear it.
Can I use my ready action?
What is your ready action?
Is this on?
Dodge.
No. Okay, how does that work?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Come on, if you're ready in action, you need to know what it does, honestly, guys.
I've got the book, but I thought you knew it, so I just
Not off the top of my head, it's disadvantage. If you can see the attacker. Does a 9 hit then?
No.
So yeah, you kind of like roll out the way as this massive hulk just swings down and embeds his sword into the torch table. Kind of
Do I move?
We'll say you roll backwards into Raynor. You kind of dodge backwards. You don't actually move from your spot though. Finally, we are now up to Gregor.
Well, after taking that pretty big hit, I'm definitely below half my hit points. And as I'm just on the floor, I just look up. All of a sudden, I start seeing red. And I'm going to cast Cleric's Rage.
Yep, so would you like to remind the table? Because it has been a long time since we've seen Cleric's Rage.
Basically, anger replaces the pain, and your vision goes red. When health is less than 50%, you can enter a bloodthirsty rage that lasts for 30 seconds, 5 rounds. Advantage on any attacks with an automatic critical hit, but disadvantage on defense, but any damage taken is automatically halved.
Ah, yes, I remember now. Okay,
So I just look at this. What was it called again?
that is you can just see that he looks like a knight. He's a knight of this cult.
I just look at this knight and just go, is that all you've got? And I'm just going to put straight into his chest and cast level 3 guiding bolt.
Okay, roll.
I'm hoping it goes straight through him and into the other one at the other side.
I need to load up Guiding Bolt to see if that's possible, but whilst I do that, roll your attack with advantage, please. It's a ranged spell attack. It doesn't say that it does do that, but it doesn't also say it doesn't.
A flash of light and streak towards a creature of your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack.
Yeah, so make a ranged spell attack with advantage.
Yeah, I got it. That's a 17.
Okay, was that with advantage, yeah?
Oh, with advantage, sorry.
Yeah. Any attack you've got is with advantage.
17.
So you press it against, and you kind of like try and blast it through, but instead the bolt itself kind of like and kind of wraps itself around the knight before disapparating. Unless you want to move, I'm afraid that is your go. If you move, though, bear in mind he will be having an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to stay. Can I? Nothing else.
God, is that a sea hide thing too?
Is there any chance I could do a bonus action and do a breathe fire weapon? No.
You already did your bonus by activating your Cleric's Rage.
Okay, yeah, never mind then, that's all I can do.
So then we are up to Cult Fanatic 2 then. Cult Fanatic 2 is kind of... He noticed what happened with Bimmet, so if he can reach him... He cannot. So he kind of like tries to rush towards Bimmet, just like...
You murdered my comrade! How dare!
And as he does... I don't know if there's anything that can actually reach him. See, choose a humanoid. So he kind of pulls a dagger out by the blade itself and just launches it at Bimmet. As he throws it at Bimmet, Bimmet just kind of like drops to his haunches and the dagger passes by. And Dix, because you're so small as well, the dagger also just kind of zoom off the top of your head and dinks into the wall before falling with a clap behind you. We are now up to Ezador. Ezador, we're back to you.
Right. Okay. I am going to. Do you know reactions? That would be disengage attack as well, wouldn't it?
Say that again, sorry?
So like a reaction, that would be like. Do you know if I wanted to run away from you and you do that opportunity attack? Is that a reaction? That's a reaction.
What, the opportunity of attack is a reaction?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I am going to do shocking grasp.
Okay.
So I'm literally just going to touch him. And it's going to be lightning springs from my hand to deliver a shock to a creature. You have advantage on the attack roll if he is wearing armour made of metal.
Which he is, yeah. This is like full plate armour, essentially. Okay, so what is your roll then?
Well, it's on a hit. So it's like... So I'm just going to punch him, basically. Oh no, I've got a sword. I'm going to use my sword.
Yeah, you've got a short sword.
I'll use my short sword.
I was going to say, you're so used to your previous just punching everything, you forget that you now have a sword.
Which is... Blades is a +5. So... Oh, yeah. Well, it's an 18 before I've done any modifier.
Either way, we've said that attacker wins, so...
Alright, so I've hit him.
Yeah, you've hit him.
Right,
so
okay.
as you swing down with your sword, roll your sword damage to begin with.
That is my blades on the name, isn't it?
Say that again?
Is that the blades on the name? I
No,
don't think
no,
I am written the short sword down. Hang on.
That one that you just read out is something different.
Yeah, I just realised. I didn't write the short sword details down. I do apologise. I'm going to have to find it.
It is the joy of using new characters. The first session is always slightly awkward. It's 1d6.
Alright, okay, cool.
Plus any strength modifier.
Plus my strength modifier. Oh, fuck it, I'll use this. Right, plus my strength modifier, so that's 5.
Yeah. So you kind of like swing your sword down, and it does actually make contact in, again, one of the little grooves between the plates, but it just doesn't seem to do too much damage. But as it digs in slightly, you release, I'm assuming you release a lot of electrical energy around it?
Yes, and the target gets 1d8 lightning damage.
Okay, roll that 1d8.
5.
So as you, as the sword digs in, and it kind of as this like suit of armor essentially just starts twitching and writhing around. It stops twitching after the electricity kind of dissipates again, and a little bit of smoke just rises. We're up to Amrius.
Oh no,
Amrius?
I wanna keep going.
Yeah, you've got more.
Right, but that also stopped his reaction till the end of the next turn, so you can't take any reactions till your next turn.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move. I can't move him.
Give me 1 second. Controlled by... Give it a go now.
No.
Okay, last one then. For some reason, your name is on here twice. Give it a go now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to the side of him and go, are you ready? And then I'm gonna hop there, and then I'm gonna... And...
Say that again, you've leant away from the camera, so I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'll basically just say, are you ready? And then when I get to where I am, I'm just gonna go, no! And I want to change into the Phantom.
Okay, so would you like to... I'm assuming that's a bonus action for you to change.
That might be in my occult text detailing. Isn't it?
I don't think it would, but... What is your class called again, sorry?
Huh?
What's your class called again?
Tager.
Adrian. I just need to check if you can do that in the same round.
But this is like an extra attack I have, and I have a bonus action as well.
Oh, okay, then yeah, that's fine then, doesn't matter. So yeah, would you like to explain what the group sees then as you kind of dodge around this knight?
Okay, where I stand, you just see my other pupil go black, my other eye that is tailed also go black. You'll see my face start bubbling and getting larger and larger and larger, and then the cloaks fall off, and I sort of just swirl out into a big, well, a tentacled, bit like an octopus, but 2 tentacles much larger than the others. The other 6 would be more like to move around than actually use, but then these 2 tentacles are there to, are basically arms, with one eye, like right in the centre of a big bulbous head.
Okay, so yeah, that all happens. That all happens as you guys are witnessing this formerly kind of like poshish, mild-mannered, arrogant human, essentially, just transform into this gloopy, octopusy, tentacly kind of mass.
Okay.
We are now up to Bimit. Bimit.
Amrius.
Oh shit, yeah, we are. Amrius, sorry. I skipped straight past Amrius. Amrius clambers over that, so that is double that, so that's 15. Yeah, Amrius clambers over the actual torture table itself. He tries to get a good line of shot, basically. He kind of raises his hand and pulls out a book, and as he's reading through it, you see a crossbow kind of like emit out of nowhere. Continues moving so that he is then in range of the knight that is currently attacking Gregor. And he's going to take a shot. Unfortunately, as he kind of... the bolt just kind of passes between the armoured knight attacking Gregor and Gregor himself and just kind of dinks off the wall and clatters. Awfully sorry, dear boy, it's been a while since I've had to use this crossbow.
I'm just focusing on the knight, just with my cleric's rage, so I've not even noticed. Just teeth are out now.
That's fair. Bimit, in turn, is rushing to attack the other fanatic, one that was heading towards him, that threw the knife. Takes one swipe, and the fanatic just kind of dodges around. Takes another swipe, kind of like dragging his claw across the floor, swiping upwards. That one does hit though, and as it does, it kind of like catches in the stomach area of this fanatic and drags upwards. 6 points of damage. So this fanatic kind of like takes a step back, and as he does, just like before, Bimit opens his mouth and just kind of tries to savage him. Goes straight for the side of the chest, where he's already attacked, as this wound is slowly starting to spread blood. Clamps his jaw straight down, and similar to a dog trying to kill its prey, just kind of like starts writhing around. And unfortunately, he does only deal 1 point of damage. So he kind of like just nips this fanatic in the side. Dix, we're up to you.
Okay. So I'm going to stay where I am,
Yeah.
and I'm going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
Okay. Would you like to explain that one for us, please?
Yeah, so I'm creating 6 tiny meteors in my space. They float in the air and orbit me for the spell's duration. It's a concentration spell up to 10 minutes. So I've got to use an action to cast a spell, but then use a bonus action to move them.
Okay.
Once I use my bonus action, I can expend 1 or 2 of the meteors out of the 6, sending them streaking toward a point or points that I choose within 120 feet radius. I'll save the rest for the element of surprise,
Yeah,
I suppose. So, because there's a blast radius on this, I'm only going to send it over to this matey in the corner over here.
Can it travel around corners?
I don't believe that I would class that as a corner.
I would.
That's why I've stayed here.
So the wall goes here, here. No, wait. The wall goes here, 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 and then it opens here.
Oh, I can't see that on mine.
I'll draw that a bit better for you then, sorry.
I can only see that where that black square is, and I've positioned myself just there. Right, yeah, no, I couldn't see that. So in that case, if I saw that, I would have moved to a different location.
I'll let you move first then, yeah, sorry, that's my bad on that.
Alright, can you give me access to the token, please?
Have I not already? Yes, of course. I think I was probably halfway through that and I just forgot about it.
That's alright.
The joys of post-COVID, guys. You get everything. Yeah, you can now get all access.
Okay. So... does he get an attack of opportunity if I pass him?
Which one's that?
The one who is attached to Gregor.
Depends which route you take. If you go by Gregor's right side, no. If you go by his left side, yes.
You would do, yes. If you skim him in a 5 foot, you get attack of opportunity. Alright, so 5s and 15, 20, 25. There we go. Right. So then I'm going to do that.
Yeah, go for it then, sorry.
So I'm going to send it hurling.
Yeah. So you create
2 of them.
You create these 6 little meteors around you. How do you create them again? How are you doing this? Are you chanting? Are you
everything. No, everything's a tip of the hat.
So yeah, you just tip your hat and these
Tip of the hat and these 6 meteors just pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, just pop out and start
well,
circling around
spiraling
you.
in an orbit around my head.
Around your head itself, okay.
He's gonna.
And then you send.
Gonna rub his hands together.
Send 2.
I'm gonna. Boom, boom. Straight down, line of sight.
What does Cult Mage have to do?
So he needs to make a dex save of 15. As soon as it hits him,
yeah,
it explodes, regardless of where the dex save or not. So they've exploded.
That's half.
Yep, it would just take half the damage. Yeah.
Okay, is that per comet as well?
That a creature takes each creature within 5 feet of the matrix so much to make it. Just says must make a dex saving throw.
Okay,
and a creature
case, yeah, it failed.
6. It's failed, yeah?
Yeah, it's failed that dex save.
Okay. Right, so I'll roll damage
Yes.
for each one. Okay. It's 12 for the first one.
So yeah, this Cult Mage who is turned and started to run is kind of like scrabbling behind and just like a as the first one strikes him square in his back and explodes, sends him flying forward as the second one makes impact towards the back of his head. Dealing
So it was second one is just 3 damage, that's 15 in total.
dealing another 3 points of damage. It doesn't do as much, it kind of almost glances off his head as it explodes, but it sends him sprawling onto the floor. He is now prone.
Yes. That is my bonus action though, so I can't do anything else.
That's fair. So, next up then we have Raynor. Raynor, seeing this cult knight, kind of like, he also sees Ezador change, like shift and change. Wow. Well, okay then. He puts his bow away and just kind of like flicks out that dagger from before. The runes start glowing on it as he makes his way to the cult knight, and he goes to attack him. However, as he kind of slashes across you, it's just like a dink off the side of it, just like, well, fuck, that's not good. And that's his go. So we are now up to night 1. This was attacking Gregor. So Gregor, once again, he's going to raise his sword, just slashes down. I'm assuming an 8 doesn't hit you.
No.
So yeah, misses completely. I don't think he has another attack, but I will just double check. No, wait, no, he does. He raises it again. Just another. And as he does, some of the damage from before kind of like seems to on his arm. He raises it back, and you can just kind of see like these almost like screws in his arm, just blink, 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 blink. They all just kind of like ping out, narrowly missing you, Gregor, and his arm. It just kind of looks back towards his arm. Drops off.
Probably what I needed, to be honest.
Look at that, yeah.
Seems to have pained him quite a lot, just like as he's looking down his arm, just. At this point, realising that he's only got one arm, he's dropped his big sword. He's going to try and essentially run back to where that mage is.
Can I go for a hit?
You can.
Also, Tom, just talking about my Sunblade, I seem
Yes.
to be proficient in it, but it doesn't have like a +5 or anything on that.
So that'll just be your straight up proficiency bonus.
Proficiency. Oh, that one. Just a +3.
Plus, I mean, a Sunblade, I believe, is a strength or dex weapon. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you would
Is
have
it a
your...
homebrew item?
Yeah, it's
Nope.
a homebrew item.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Oh, is it not?
Nope.
Oh, I couldn't find it on.
5e Sunblade, it's 2 words. It is a finesse or versatile weapon. You gain a +2 to attack and damage rolls made with the weapon. When you hit an undead with it, the target takes an extra 1d8 radius. Because it's a finesse weapon, you can either do strength or dex.
Strength or dex?
Yes. So you would add your strength, right? So you would add your strength modifier +2 plus your proficiency bonus. And remember, you've still got Cleric's Rage for another 4 turns. Oh, this is your second turn, should I say? Wait, no, this isn't even your second turn. This is just an attack of opportunity.
So do I roll just for that?
Yeah, just roll your attack of opportunity. It's not a full-on turn.
Do I add anything onto it, or
What do you mean?
like?
Yeah, just as if you were attacking normally.
Just
Oh, if I
yeah,
was
just as if
attacking
you
normal.
yeah.
So I got that, and then that's a 3. Oh, and I got advantage as well.
Yes, because your Cleric's Rage is still in turn.
So that was a 6, 4, 13.
Was that with advantage as well?
That was with advantage.
So yeah, as you swing down to attack it with your Sunblade, just rumph and narrowly misses. So the knight goes up 5, 10, 15. However, Dix, he is passing you.
Yeah, you get attack of opportunity. That would just be for. Can you use a spell for attack of opportunity?
Normally I would say no, but I would say that in this specific instance, if you wanted to send a comet after him, you could.
If I did it that way, I'd only send a comet after him once he passed me, or is he stopping there?
He's not stopping there, he's passing by.
He's passing by.
But for flavour of this, we'll say that we'll do the roll as he's passing you for the attack of opportunity, but for flavour we'll say he's passed you already and he's running down the corridor. if you want to use your comment. Can you speak into the mic, sorry?
Yeah, I do want to use Comet, yeah. As he's
Okay.
running past. Is that where he's ending his run there?
He's going to end pretty much
Right,
behind
that's
in
fine
front of
then.
the mage.
Right, if that's the case, I'd wait for him to get there, so I could maybe get a blast radius on the other guy as well.
What's the blast radius?
15.
Yeah, that'd hit. Okay, how many are you sending that way?
I can only send 2 a maximum at a time, so I'd leave me
Okay.
with 2 left. So, just damage straight up, yeah.
Both would have to roll a dex save, won't they?
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure about the guy with attack of opportunity, though. Do you reckon he'd be able to...
Yeah, because either
Would
way,
he have time to do that?
When you make an attack on an attack of opportunity, you're still going against AC. There's still a save for it,
Right, okay.
so that would still be the same. Because all the spell is another attack, just done slightly
Yeah.
differently.
Go on then, make your... Say it's
So-
15 to beat.
The knight isn't going to anywhere with a 12, and the mage. gets
The
a
mage
natural
wouldn't make one, I don't believe, because I'm not actually attacking him. I think the blast radius would just be something separate, so I'm not actually attacking that.
Okay. Ah, no, shit, you're right, yeah. That's fine. And quite lucky because he got a natural 20.
Shit.
Hasn't he?
Alright, so 2 of them, roll damage.
Yes.
So that's 10 total
In total.
for that guy. For that guy that was running.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up properly another time, but for now we'll just
Yeah.
say yeah. Okay, so both comets just into him, and he kind of drops to one knee. Just the mage is also, I'm assuming, gets hit by for 10. So
Yep.
the mage is kind of staggered backwards. Neither of these two are looking too hot at this moment in time. They're both just kind of panting heavily, which means that we are now up to the mage itself. The mage kind of picks himself up, and just that he can't do much more. But he's going to continue running. 5, 10, 15, 20. There we go. That's his go. He's still just running away. Knight 2, however, this is this chap here. He's now going to clonk back down, just clomping his way to Ezador. This weird, monstrous mass of tentacles. Once again, as he raises his sword, slams down. I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
No.
Does Reno get an attack as well?
Just what?
Was it in combat with Reno?
Reno's attacked. He missed.
Is he already attacked?
He's attacked and he's missed.
Alright.
Wait, sorry, attack of opportunity. Oh, shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Let's do that first. He still missed.
He's shit, isn't he?
Reno is good at certain things, but those things have not come into play yet. Gaz, I think I said 11, so that doesn't hit, I'm guessing.
No, it doesn't. Sorry, I was on mute.
That's fine. Second attack then. 9 doesn't hit.
No.
Okay, so Gregor, we're back up to you.
Yay! Right.
There is the cult knight that's run away, there's the fanatic, there's the other cult knight, and there's the mage.
Right, I'm just going to focus on that knight that was on me. I'm just going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Right behind. Is he running away, do you say?
Yes.
Right, I'm just going to do a jump and just get my sunblade and just dig it straight into the centre of his, of his back.
Alright, roll to attack with advantage then. Roll, yeah, with advantage.
That was good. That was a good job of that. 15, 6. 16, 17, 18.
Is it above 18?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, that hits. Roll your critical damage.
I rolled 2 as well. I got radiant damage as well.
That's fine. Roll critical for both of them.
Okay, so.
I like how you automatically assume that this knight is undead. You're correct, but I like how you assume he's undead.
It was the groan, and I thought, yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds a bit undead to me.
Yeah.
13. And then do I double it, or do you want me to roll again?
I can't remember what we said for that. House rules, criticals. I think we rolled twice.
Yeah, I think so. It rolled double damage, isn't it?
Yeah, roll double. Roll a second
Roll
time.
double, so I got 13, so that's...
Oh yeah, roll damage
20.
twice. There we go. Fucking hell. Absolutely.
Roll damage twice.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 13. That's 27 radiant damage.
What else? Over damage?
And then,
for sword damage?
no, that's not. And then there's just a normal attack.
Yes.
1d8 plus 1d10 plus 6.
Say I roll that twice.
Six. And that's 23, so altogether that's 49 points of damage.
I wish
A
you'd
lot
have
of
been
numbers to
hitting
work with it.
I was gonna say.
Say again.
I wish you'd have hit those numbers before. Fucking hell.
I know, I did.
So you jump up, and as you do, you whomp with the sunblade, just plunge it in, and as it sinks through the plate mail and comes out the other side, you hear like a vroom, 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 and you hear as the cult knight just explodes into viscera.
Can I just look at the mage and just go, "You're next."
Mage is just like, Mage turns around, still doesn't say, but you see his eyes widen. We're now up to fanatic number 2, who isn't doing too good, but bless him, is gonna try. He pulls out another dagger, just spins it, and slashes across at Bimit. Bimit just kind of like, no! Hits his hand with the dagger. This fanatic still isn't going though, so he's going to try and plunge the dagger forward. And again, Bimit just, no! Hits the dagger away. So we're up to you, Ezador, as you're facing against the cult knight.
Yeah. I am going to then. Well, first I'm going to go. Finally, my turn. Bleed. And then I'm going to get my tentacle and slash down. Well, not my tentacle. One of my arms. I'm use blades.
Yep. Okay, roll to hit for that then, please. As you kind of, as you say this, you raise one of your hands up, your tentacly arms, and it kind of like stiffens and hardens into a blade, and you swing it down towards the cult knight.
$17.
Unfortunately, as you swing, the knight just kind of decides it glances.
Bloody hell. I thought I'd be in it.
Anything else? Do you have multi-attack for that, or?
I do. Well, I just went with it again and I missed.
As you spin, as you slash down again, the knight this time just kind of like tinks, uses his greatsword to knock it away. It's been a while since you've been in this form, Ezador, and you're still not quite used to it yet.
Okay, I'm going to, because I should have a bonus action, because I did an attack, I've got an extra attack which I used. So can I use a bonus? Can you dodge with my bonus?
You can ready the action for dodge.
Alright.
That would count as a bonus if you readied your action for it.
Oh yes, I'm doing that then.
Okay. So Amrius is go. Amrius is... I really need to learn Amrius's spells a little bit better than this. So Amrius pulls out a bolt, loads it in, just with a chunk, and he is going to fire it at... He's going to fire it at the knight attacking Ezador. As it swishes past, like a woof, and dunk into it. That deals 4 points of damage to it. But Ezador, even in the current state that you're in, you see these lights just kind of light up on the bolt itself, these little runes, and as it does, the room suddenly feels cold to you. You hear like a poof as a bunch of frost damage just surrounds this knight, and the knight takes 7 points of damage. Kind of stumbles back. We're up to Bimit. Bimit is still locked in combat with this fanatic. He's just kind of knocked his daggers away. Raises a big dragon claw, swipes down, but unfortunately misses. This fanatic just kind of dodges around it. Rolls again, but this time he manages to hit. So as this cultist just kind of like dodged the first one, Bimit swipes again and catches him again in the chest. And he deals 7 points of damage. This cultist at this point in time is kind of staggering, just once again like the other ones, just on one knee, just panting heavily. Then it goes into for a bite, but this time he clamps his mouth around the fanatic's head. And as he kind of like shuts his jaw, the fanatic's head just kind of pops in his mouth.
Go on, Bim.
The fanatic slumps to the floor, dead. Dix, we're on to you now, my friend.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to leave Gregor to this one over here. Let me just check the range on this. It's fine. I'm going to stay where I am.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more walls, is there? That's on the left side of the map here.
Beyond. Hang on.
Oh, basically, can I just see down to Ezador, where the guy who's attached to Ezador?
There's nothing in between them. No.
Right. Okay.
This is
not
the
very
darkest.
strict, Tom.
Shut up. This is the darkest room in the entire map.
Shut up.
So yeah. Suddenly, Gregor gets killed.
He's close.
Might as well. Right, this lasts for 1 round. It's a cantrip and it's called Chill Touch.
Okay.
It's necromancy.
Ooh.
It's got 120 foot range.
Yeah.
So I can easily reach that. So once again with a tip of the hat and a bit of a blow. Ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. So I just need to make a ranged spell attack, which I'll do now before I read the rest. That's a natural 20.
Dix, roll your damage. Your critical damage.
Good to go.
That sounds either really good or really bad.
That's 24 points of damage. Also, it can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn.
Can't do anything.
Until then, the hand clings to the target. And also, if you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the end of its next turn.
I mean, it's going to have full-on disadvantage anyway, because never mind undead, it's now dead. As this chill touches, this ghostly hand just wraps around it, and you can hear just as this cold, bony hand just wraps its way around the knight's kind of throat, finding just that little sliver of undead flesh. It grips onto it and just.
With the chill of the grave.
With the chill of the grave, it snaps the neck as this chill just spreads across its body. The cult knight drops dead.
And I'll tip my hat again.
As Dix just tips his hat.
He was mine.
We're up to Raynor.
Ezador needs to take 27 points of damage as well.
Sound about right. Raynor just kind of sees...
He's dead.
Straight away. That was a nice little cameo from Ezador there for one second.
Yeah.
So Raynor, just seeing this, just kind of looks back across to Dix.
So maybe it's a good thing we have a wizard.
Just kind of.
Well, maybe it is.
He just kind of tips an imaginary hat to you as it passes
I'll
by.
tip it back. I'll tip it back numerous times.
Unfortunately, this
happy
is about
grin.
About as far as he can go, but he draws his bow and just rises in action. Knight 1 is dead. Mage 1, he is still, bless him, he is still trying his hardest to
He's
just
gonna
run.
flee.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35.
It's just... Oh.
No, hang on, because I need to reveal more anyway for Gregor because of his line of sight. Gregor, you can see as this mage is running away, he is then running into an opening. That the area itself seems a bit weird for a Temple of Death. The lighting almost seems... Yeah, has that shown to you guys?
I can just see literally a bit of the mage.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The lighting itself seems almost warm to you as this mage is running this way. However, that is the end of his turn. And we are up to you, Gregor, as this mage is just running desperately.
Right, I'm just gonna literally pelt towards him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I get back up to here, and as I'm running, I'm going.
You saw me coming, so why you running? What's the matter? It's just little old me.
I feel like giving you disadvantage, but you've still got advantage. Go for it.
As I get up to it, I'm going to cast level 3 Guiding Bolt again.
Yep, go for it. Roll with advantage.
Uh, 16.
Let me just double check on this chat. That will hit.
That'll hit. And that's because it's the highest one. That is 6d6 radiant damage.
Tell me how you want to do this.
Whoa! Where was this damaged before when Ivor was alive?
Ivor's death has just fueled him.
As I'm running, I've just got my hand just facing the back, and just my eyes are just going red at this point, and I'm just building up this guiding bolt, and all of a sudden can I make it into a spear in a way?
For this, we'll allow you to.
As I make it into a spear, I just go step back and just chuck it straight into his back.
Yeah, so as you throw it and it pierces this cult mage's back, it hits with such force that it actually raises him off the ground. He is then sent flying forward into the room. You hear a boom, and more.
Can I roll the damage as well, please? I want to see what he gets.
Roll the damage, go for it. I thought you had. I thought you got 66.
No, I said it 6d6.
Oh, 6d6. I heard 66.
I had 66 as well.
Sorry.
That's why I said, how do you want to do this?
Right. No,
I thought you just had a minimum of 6 left.
You might get
but
6.
still, that's.
Well,
So I'm rolling 12.
you are
so
rolling
12
d6.
I'll just do it off d20. I'll just roll it off D&D Beyond.
I'm going to say, as this is happening as well, the rest of the group, so Dix, Ezador, Amrius, Raynor, and Bimit, have all started making their way through the tunnel trying to catch up with you.
Alright, that is 41 points of damage.
Because I think it's fairly obvious at this point in time that Gregor has just destroyed this fucking mage. Just, yeah, you hear a doof as it hits something, and as this cult mage is wiped off the face of Iathlock. It's completely gone. There's not even a trace of him left.
That's for you, Rag and Ivoc.
As you say that and you look up, and the rest of the group have kind of followed and kind of caught up with you as you're saying that. Dix and Ezador. Ezador, are you still in your shifted form?
Yes, well, my shifted form is now making his way towards Dix.
Okay. I'm going to let that play out first then.
Alright. Yeah.
I was going to wrap this stuff up, but yeah.
Well, as I come towards up to Dix, I'm just going to say, surely they won't mind losing a little one. And then
Dix is going to back off.
and then, yeah, I'm just going to go up to him with like my teeth, because he's got teeth under his mouth, under his eye.
Yeah.
I don't think I said that before, but he's got teeth. So you see him sharp, going, just a bite. And then as I get close...
spin these meteors a little bit.
And then as I get close, you're going to see me... Oh, why? Oh, sorry, I had to see that.
Yeah, the writhing
mental.
tentacles just kind of like back, and Ezador is now stood back in front of you.
That went
That's
well.
mental. I think that was alright for our first fight.
Wasn't it?
As you're saying that, you can hear Gregor in the distance saying his, why are you running spiel. Do you both kind of like head into the corridor to try and catch up with him?
I think if I can find my token. Oh, yeah, it's Rags in it.
I was going to say we can drop the tokens now.
Yeah, we'll run straight down the corridor.
Yeah. So yeah, as you run down the corridor, Ezador, I'm assuming you follow as well.
Yeah, I'll follow it.
Passing by Amrius, Bimit is kind of keeping track. Bimit kind of leaps forward and kind of lands on his claws, almost spinning around in front of Gregor. Dix and Ezador kind of flank you on either side, Gregor. As you're saying, that's for you, Rag, and Ivoc. And as the three of you kind of look forward and look direct... Oh, I'm just going to have to move something very quickly. As the three of you look directly forward, the three of you notice that bright light. You notice that you are now stood in a room unlike the others. You find yourself feeling slightly more relaxed. You find yourself looking ahead, and you see what appears to be some form of... Well, it feels weird to call it natural light given that you're underground, but it feels like natural light. It feels like, for the first time, especially for you, Dix and Ezador, it feels like the sunlight is finally bearing its way onto you for the first time ever. You can see there are numerous small, orange, moving lights around. And as your eyes focus to the natural light for the first time in what could be decades for the two of you, you see a slight blue shimmer rising from the floor, and you realise that that's water. It is luminously blue water, and those little lights that are around are fireflies. But what gets your gaze the most, the beam of sun that's just entering into the chamber itself, and there in the centre of the chamber is a giant oak tree. The light just illuminating it gently. And unlike every other single room in the temple, this one feels warm, feels welcoming.
I'll just walk in, just grasping my wound that's kind of still open. I mean, I took some major damage from that.
Gregor, how much health do you have left?
6.
As you stagger forward, you kind of drop to one knee and you collapse in the blue liquid.
Okay.
And as that happens, you can feel warmth entering your body. You are fully healed.
Oi. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
And as you are fully healed, you kind of look up and roll me an Arcana check.
That is a 7.
For the briefest second, you swear, you can't make them out, but you can see 2 shimmery figures on the other edge of the room. And they just, as soon as you see them, they're both gone.
Oh. I'm just looking at my scars, like seeing if I'm still bleeding. Nothing. I'm fully healed. I feel fantastic.
Amaris kind of passes through into the room. My god, this is perplexing, to say the very least. He just kind of stomps in. This is very, very perplexing. Why would a room such as this be a temple of death? It makes one feel as though they are safe. It makes one feel like they are in the presence of Lathander himself.
Yes, well,
And as he's
if you can't be civilized, then you can't come and play, can you?
And as he's saying that, and Ezador's talking to himself again, Amaris kind of turns around. This is the group. I believe there is more to Melruk play here than we initially thought. I dare say that we must keep on journeying into this temple. Hopefully we will meet back up with our group. However, this room itself, I do not know the mysteries that it holds, but I am not completely convinced that it is benevolent. So let us be on our guard and make sure what happened to Ragnarok and Ivok does not befall us as well.
Agreed.
Yes, maybe. Goddess, what goddess did you say?
Can I give Bimmet a pat on the back? You fought well.
Bimmet just kind of growls happily. Ezador, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, so what goddess did you say it was again?
It was the god Lathander.
Oh, the
god
god.
Lathander he's the god of life and rebirth, so it is quite odd that he is in this room, or a shrine to him is, however.
Yes, I know, yes. Yes, I was about to say the same thing.
Amaris is going to roll in sight.
Yeah, can I also as well?
Yeah, go for it. Dix, are you rolling insight, or are you just kind of walking around at this point?
No, I'm just walking around.
10.
Okay, so Gregor, you're just kind of like, oh, he seems to know his stuff. But yeah, Ezador, Amaris is just kind of narrowing his eyes, just like, really now? Really?
Yes.
Tell me, how do you know about Lathander? Tell me, dear boy.
Oh, I don't know how I know things. I learn everywhere I go. It's just, there's too much information to try and recall where I learn things. I just know things.
Quite. Nonetheless, I'm going to walk over here now. And he just kind of walks to the other area of the room, just looking at the tree.
And as he does, I'm just going to say, I used to have a tree like this.
The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons & Dragons show by RollCast. Episode 14, Despair, featured JB as Ragnarok and Dix, Coogan as Gregor the Last, Gareth Ryan as Ezador, and Tom Crabbe as the DM. After 13 previous episodes, it's going to be odd not saying Ragnarok and Ivok going forward, but nonetheless. Intro, midpoint, and outro music were all provided by JB. Editing and sound mixing was done by Tom Crabbe. We'd like to thank the following for allowing us to use their ambiences and their music: Adrian von Ziegler, Alexander Nakarada, Darren Curtis Music, Michael Ghelfi Studios, Royalty Free Zone, Scott Buckley, Survival Spheres, and The Seventh Midnight. Full links to all the tracks that were used in this episode are in the episode's description. These artists are all amazing, and their tracks have really let us properly step up our game, so please show them some love. If you like what we do and you want to show your support, then why not check out our socials? Follow our Facebook page at facebook.com/castthatroll. Follow and tweet at us on Twitter using the handle @castthatroll. And subscribe to our YouTube channel using the handle @castthatroll. You'll be able to get episode updates and random bits of lore and information on both Twitter and Facebook, such as how our group formed, what the main landmasses of Iathlock are, how the Pantheon of Gods are decided, and a lot of other bits of random lore and behind-the-scenes stuff, as well as character information that you might not pick up during the sessions. The first set of information is due to go up soon, so check out our socials for it. Our YouTube page has all of our current episodes up in a visual format, as well as a super long recap episode narrated by myself and Amrius Reap, who definitely not just me, with a very bad accent. And these are all also available in our Season 1 playlist on our YouTube channel. Don't want to watch, but you still want to listen to us? Well, we've got your back. Look for RollCast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Good Pods, and all other podcast platforms. Or, alternatively, add our RSS feed so you never miss an episode. Thank you again to everyone who has watched or listened to this episode. Another player has bitten the dust, but, with that we now do have 2 more interesting characters that I am sure we're going to learn all sorts about in the upcoming episodes. That said, given that this arc has already seen 2 characters die, will the rest of the group even have a chance to learn about their new members? Find this out, and more, in episode 15, An Odd Crown, which will release on the 21st of June. So we'll see you all then.
Okay. Coogan, count me in.
All right. Take 1 and action.
Fuck's sake. Why did you delay it that much?
I thought, why not?
You know what?
I'm just annoyed me.
Yeah, so, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to continue using this take. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Reaper, the Mailcast. The Mailcast. The Mailcast, fuck's sake. All right.
Always.
Count me back in, I guess.
Take 2 and
Do it right.
action.